warning Laura to stay engaged.
The ref is the legend Leonardo Pisagna. He knows what he's doing, and he just actually had a flying armbar win at the Austin Open last week in his division. So he's up here reffing in KC this week. Super involved in jiu-jitsu in the Midwest.
It's going to be like this the entire 6 minutes. Submission grappling, they're trying to get the other one to tap. We'll go to a judge's decision at the end of 6 minutes. If we don't get there, Laura over the top.
Laura's definitely showing some athleticism. Jessie, though, is waiting to get that entanglement. If she can get her slowed down and tangled up, she can start working her game.
Quick sales pitch for jiu-jitsu. You can see Jessie's sitting down and still completely in control of the pressure in the match right now. That's the fun part about what she's capable of.
Here's that entanglement. We're looking at a butterfly half. She's attacking the far side. Now back to butterfly. Seated guard.
When he says butterfly, you see her legs getting hooked into Laura's, trying to be able to lift up those hips. We're off to a fast-paced start.
Absolutely. That's called...
Oh!
Very,
Jessie comes out the back on a roll.
That's the G roll. That's Isaiah's specialty. So she's learning really good from the coach.
Jessie also trains at altitude.
Look at this trap game. This is something the Easton Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu team is really, really good at. The Kimura trap game, the back game, leg, everything really. But if you let somebody on the trap, it's going to be hard to get out. There she goes to the back.
Jessie trains at Easton.
She's a
Jiu-Jitsu
Centennial
filled
girl.
with killers.
Yep. It's a great school. She trains with us in Castle Rock too and at other Easton locations, but definitely a school that gets you well prepared.
And you can see Jessie trying to take the back now. Laura doing a good job keeping that turtle, but she's going to have to be more active. Otherwise, Jessie's, she locks in that body triangle. That hurts.
It's definitely not comfortable, and Laura needs to try to get her over on the other side. You don't want that top leg to be the triangle leg to be on top because it's very hard to move your hips. You need to try to pin it to the other side of the mat.
You can see Jessie working in that choke. She did say yesterday she's been working on her chokes. It's getting close. Laura's not getting over that other side like she would need to.
No, and there's only she's tough. I just can't see from this angle. It looks like she's hand fighting effectively, but she's not going to go anywhere until she deals with that body triangle.
Jessie is imposing.
Oh, she's a great competitor. She competed last weekend, or it was 2 weeks ago in Utah, and had some great matches. Had a really fun tournament out there. I can't remember what it's called, a proving grounds or something. But she competes all the time. She's a really good athlete.
What you can see at home is Jessie's right leg pulling down on that left leg foot right into Laura's rib cage. It makes breathing a little bit more difficult.
She's getting close to that choke. I can see the chins.
She's got all the time in the world right here.
Angles
She's not in a hurry.
She's out. Hand fighting.
And if it looks uncomfortable, that grabbing of the chin and the mouth, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Adds to it. Adds to the breathing uncomfortableness.
Jessie's an animal on the back, too, so, for a blue belt, definitely high-level jiu-jitsu for any belt.
She's looking at it. This is just a straight-up face crank. She's got that right arm over the jaw, putting pressure. I'm still impressed by Laura. Good defense here to stay out of a submission.
Absolutely. Laura's really tough.
Not getting choked.
Very scrappy young lady.
First match of the evening, a breakneck pace. They can do this because they're quick and they're mean.
Only gangsters on the card tonight.
It's going to be an action-packed card. Keep your eyes on this. We have time on our first match. We're going to go to a referee's decision. We have three of the best around the mat tonight, including referees.
It's Mike Rethmeyer from St. Louis. Leo Pisagna, Derek Ruffin from KC.
Unanimous decision there for Jessie.
Really good group of people judging.
Not going to get a disagreement from anyone. That's some impressive pressure. Nice job, Coach.
She's not my student, but I'll take credit.
You're close. It's the same affiliation.
We do good work out there, but I have to give credit where credit's due. She's definitely amazing, Isaiah, and their coaches out there at her gym. fantastic job.
Off to a first fiery start. Congrats to both. That's Jesse Stemple from Easton Castle Rock getting the first, Easton Centennial. I have are listed in the Easton crew. Big first win, nice pressure. And again, Lawrence Jiu-Jitsu showing up.
Oh, here we go. David Vava from Body Fit and Brooke Honeycutt. I know I've seen her compete a little bit, I think, at the Dallas Open or one of the Opens in Texas.
Yeah.
Very good guard. I mean, once again, another blue belt that's super competitive, athletic. So looking forward to a good match.
If you're new to the grappling ranks, white belt, blue belt, purple, brown, black, we're going to work our way up. Hey, Jesse's crossing in front of the table. Nice match there.
Great job. You look great out there.
You
Fantastic
crushed it.
pressure.
Nice pressure. Jesse looking remarkably not out of breath. I'm a little upset about that.
Yeah.
Should be more tired after that match.
Absolutely. Travis Conley, the promoter and event organizer, did a fantastic job at getting together good athletes from every rank in jiu-jitsu for the crowd tonight.
And we have Kaylee Barrett. I have her listed as Iowa Wrestling in the white.
And Brooke Honeycutt, Team Vava.
And I've heard the pajamas referred to several ways. We call it a gi here in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's that big
gi.
uniform. Yeah, they start grip fighting on those right away. They sort of represent street clothes in a fun way. They look cooler than most street clothes. That's just my opinion.
Brooke, the local girl training downtown Kansas City. Team Vava.
You can see already getting a good inside grip. She's doing that to control posture. Try and break Kaylee down.
Kaylee's got that strong wrestling look, that very good posture, looking to enter into the judo game.
Wrestlers notoriously annoying, especially when you're standing on your feet. They just have a tremendous base, and they've been doing this a long time.
Absolutely. It's also, you know, the technique is one thing, but the mentality and physicality, preparation that they go through makes them great competitors in this format.
And I'm going to steal a lesson from Ethan here next to me as I explain. They're grip fighting right now, and you can see the importance as the posture gets broken and Brooke starts to come up on top. You got to get those grips. It can determine the entire fight. You mentioned that in your
the whole
class.
match right away at the first grips, you know, or if you are having a great match halfway through, you lose concentration, and you could go behind and never come back. And as I say that,
quick back take, yeah,
she
there
goes right there.
And what we're seeing is this Brooke won that first hand fight. Now she's in a good position.
She's out of position now.
Oh.
The girl comes up. They're on a platform, ladies and gentlemen, so we're hoping for no airborne exits from the platform mat.
Not just any platform, custom built by show promoter, producer, and all-around apparent. I didn't know about his carpentry skills, Travis Conley. Team Money.
His dad is a carpenter, and he did the impossible, put together a badass platform and ring. So
I'm digging this judo fight. We've got an
man.
exchange. Kaylee loses in it after putting some pressure, which is just a good counter from Brooke.
Brooke is one thing I've noticed about her in the few times I've seen her compete is that she is a very good competitor. She rises to the occasion in her matches.
Both ladies versed in this position. This is something we drill in warm-ups quite a bit just to get used to the weight of somebody else.
There's not a feeling quite like being in the closed guard in front of a bunch of people competing and someone stands up. Well, she did a great job. Look, she's
Kaylee.
almost swept, but now it's going to cost her. She's going to get past the side. There we go.
And this is where Brooke takes a dominant position. We always, usually the person on top in grappling, we tend to give the dominant
good inversion
position.
skills, good hips. She's going to get back to guard here. There you go.
Kaylee's tough.
Look out, armbar. It's
Oh,
locked.
Kaylee
It's
gets an
locked.
armbar in.
But Brooke is flexible. Really, really slick jiu-jitsu here now.
Don't try that at home for the people watching.
Don't do that on your siblings or your other family members.
Brooke's been doing this a while. That's why she was able to get out of that armbar.
They won't be able to tap like that or break their arm.
That was impressive. That flip around was
Yeah,
good.
man. And also the escape. Now she's in a somewhat dominant position. Attacking the turtle guard, basically looking for a clock choke, halagio choke, whatever, and we'll see how this plays out.
Kaylee Barrett in the white, Brooke Honeycutt, Team Vava in the black. It looks like Brooke's working on something.
That's called the clock choke. It's basically a choke where you cross the collars from that position, which is called the turtle guard, and you walk your legs like a clock hand. Doesn't look like she's going to get it. It's very common in judo. And so she actually did not, but she maintained that control.
Again, you can see the pace that they're able to keep up.
She's looking to put hooks.
In-shape fighters takes the back. She's breaking out the arm.
It looks like a bow and I can't see from her, but it looks like a bow and arrow choke possibly.
She got it. Got it looks like a modified bow and arrow. She's got that top
lapel. That's what it looked like from here. Yeah, there's some people with really big heads in front of us. So.
Puts a lot of pressure right on that neck. Congrats to Brooke with.
Yeah, great job.
That's going to be on the early submission of the night list.
That was fantastic. Coming back after getting caught in a very tight armbar and finishing like that, super impressive.
I'm putting Brooke Honeycutt on my best submission nominees list.
Well, definitely game performers. She definitely rose to the occasion there and got a sweet submission, first submission of the night.
That's a good example of the choke only possible when you're wearing the gi. Oh, Octavio's giving us some directions. Octavio Villanueva doing all of the production behind the scenes tonight. He confused Ethan and I by gesturing, but we're just we're working out the jitters. We're good. He was giving us it sounds good, and thank you, Octavio, for the hard work. Takes a village. Up next on the card, Kevin Walsh versus Macmo Green of American Top Team. I'm excited to see Mac fight.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with him. So these two guys, this will be the first time I've watched them compete. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table.
Mac's an MMA fighter. I know in the terms I got to
That's
talk to him
AJJ's
a
MO.
little bit.
You know, those guys fight in the cage a lot, fight in the ring a lot.
Let's see. Nogi match at 185 pounds.
Here we go.
Two very athletic guys.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what you walk out to, you know, little gangster get the crowd set.
At Harrah's Casino here in the lovely Kansas City, Missouri. I've already been a little uncomfortable with some of the Arkansas and Iowa fighters here tonight, but I've made my peace with it. I've moved past.
Yeah, you know, when you're coming to the riverboats in Kansas City, you know, you're going to see the champagne bottles in the grass out front, and you're going to see some people that have lost their RV.
This is Ethan's hometown.
I know all about this place, and I love it. You know, love KC. This is actually a wonderful venue. Everybody here is super cool, so we're really happy about the
Ultimate
turnout.
Absolute blue corner. We've got Mac versus Kevin Walsh. Here we go. Mac early pressure. You can see the MMA fighter in him.
Wow,
Look
these
at
guys
that.
are strong.
You can see him already putting the pressure.
So that on the bottom, let me just see. That is Kevin.
Yep, Kevin Walsh in the gray.
Get that underhook. He's really getting out pummeled here.
Mac in the red. But he's really extended out that. That's the lockdown. It looks
he's got
like
a
he's
lockdown. You know, the thing is, to get out of that, you got to sit back on it. So just leaning forward into him is going to maybe hurt your own knee. So we'll see how this goes.
And this is the fun of watching an MMA fighter. You can see Mac, who's in the red on top. His instincts are must crush.
Right, and you know, when somebody's got your knee locked down, if you crush too much forward, you can get your knee definitely tweaked. And so what he'd want to do as a top man is sit on that ankle, you know, so that he can then pummel his foot out of that lockdown.
6 minutes at 185 pounds. These two are not going to get tired, so we're going to get to see the action move the entire way.
So, you know, this position is going to be kind of a stalemate until Kevin can get at least a little bit better position with his arms so he can lift that lockdown, uplift the hips of his opponent up, Mac Mo. And
it looks like Kevin Walsh here in the gray is doing a good job keeping his hips underneath Mac's hips so he can elevate.
Absolutely. And the lockdown, what it requires is that you also pummel with your hands. You can't just lift the leg up and expect the person to move. You got to work, you know, underhooks. You got to work pushing the person's weight up over your hips as you kick your legs up in the air. And that's how you'll move that knee.
And I can't see exactly what his hands are doing, but Mac does appear to be looking to try and put some pressure on some submissions in the past.
Sort of a Kimura right here from our angle, but
he's definitely Mac is hand fighting from the top. You can see he's trying to look for a place to get his hand so he can start moving his knee over the hips of Kevin Walsh.
But
because
unfortunately, it's not going to work, though, because look at that right leg of the man on the bottom, how he's got it straightened out. That lockdown will prevent you from getting your knee line, out. Unless he, of course, turns like that. He's turning his hips. He may be able to pop his foot out, his right foot. But he really needs to sit back and sit back on that lockdown and pass. But here he goes. This is a good attempt.
The lockdown gets Eddie Bravo gets a lot of the credit for it, but it's also something those of us in the lazy jiu-jitsu use as a lovely stalling technique when someone gets us a little.
I saw it first in the 90s from Jean-Jacques, Eddie Bravo's coach. That makes total sense. That he would take it to the next level like that. There's a pass to mount now.
Dominant position for Mac here as he moves above those hips.
And that's what that's what he was waiting on. He didn't hurt his knee, kept the pressure. Eventually, because he did not pummel, Kevin got caught.
Kevin Walsh flips it over
Tough
with
guy.
the reverse here. Nicely done.
Yeah.
Matt goes in to get that. He's trying to get that. It almost looks like a shoulder bite triangle. I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
Kevin Walsh has a foot, does not have the knee line. We'll see if he can get enough pressure to.
Yeah, the grips are not. Kevin Walsh could possibly get something right here. He needs to get his knees tighter together. That left foot needs to be secured to the right, the right knee or right ankle up over the hip. But here we go. He's out.
Black tights on black tights always makes for
it's difficult
fun
to see what's going on, right? Whose leg is whose?
Whose leg is whose? Which is the exact game they're playing right now as well.
Right.
Hey, is that your leg? No, that's mine.
I got it. Here we go.
Moving to the end, and once again, custom-built stage, sturdy as a rock, as built with that Kansas custom care. Both guys, we're almost in the, are we allowed to push the foot?
Yeah, you can, for sure.
Right into that face? Love it.
Why not? Go ahead and get out of that lock with the foot to the face. So they're both in kind of a position that it's hard to get leverage in because their knees are pretty open. They don't have necessarily really tight grips on the ankle either.
Another great position if you're getting tired and you really need a second. Tangle up those legs. Both guys, doesn't appear to be the case. Takes a deep breath. We're going to stand him up here, get him back. Getting him directed. Yep, we've got a little bit of delay between the live show and the video here, just getting caught up as they reposition these two. Oh, I like that. Max tried to take the mount during the This is a critical part in jiu-jitsu, the reposition.
In a good position.
There's the attack.
Okay, now, so we got Mac Mo on top, heavy again, and he's trying to do the lockdown where he pulls the knee across his chest. It's a little bit hard to do. If he would, there's several ways that he could pull it off, but being that far over his opponent makes it really difficult to extend his hips up in the air, lifting Kevin's center, or not Kevin, but Mac Mo's center line.
Always harder, too, when you're dealing with one of those MMA people that starts grinding that fist in the neck, starts really making it painful.
They're not going to let anything happen, so he's got the cross face. If he sits there, they'll probably be in a stalemate.
Time. This one's going to go to a decision. This one's going to be a little bit tougher because, at least in Jesse's case, control of the match the entire time. It was just a matter of almost finishing. This one, quite a bit more of a stalemate.
No, I think definitely Mac Mo from ATT passed to mount, which, it's a submission only. We're trying to get submissions, but if the only thing that really happens is the mount position,
referees,
definitely the guy should win.
His reputation precedes him. Ethan Day calls it correctly. Mac wins with a 3-0 decision. That mounts a big one. He just kept the pressure on.
Two tough guys. The guy on the bottom from AJJ represented himself well. He had a game that he was going for. It didn't quite work out. Go back to the drawing board. He'll be good to go.
You're watching the Ultimate Absolute presented by Blue Corner. They also do MMA fights. They had MMA fights here last night doing grappling today. There was a tournament. Massive thanks to them, run by Ben. Ben's a great guy. He also made sure, as soon as I complimented him, he was like, Travis has been the man doing this.
Oh, no,
Like, let's give Travis that.
Travis has been super excited about this all year. So he does these once a year, and the quality shows, and definitely the people who are fighting, but also we're in this beautiful banquet hall here at Harris Casino, North Kansas City, Missouri. So having a great time so far.
We've got Alexandra Loudermill from Republic Martial Arts versus Mikell Burr, Criqui BJJ. You're going to hear that Criqui BJJ name a few times tonight.
Yeah, Cody Criqui, school in Topeka, correct?
Yes,
very
Topeka.
Good competitor, nice guy, good black belt. So definitely probably, going to have his people ready to fight, ready to go. So.
Fighting on the main card tonight. He's fighting Isaiah Wright later.
Yeah, he's fighting. Isaiah is, a handful, so definitely it'll be a challenge for him.
I asked Isaiah yesterday, because we're all familiar, especially if you've been watching if you're on the nerdier grappling community, you know Isaiah Wright. I asked Isaiah why he's so flexible. Cheerleading.
Really?
He said cheerleading. He did cheerleading for 2 or 3 years.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. You find out something new every day.
Didn't know that either.
Well, he is one of the best kids coaches around. Like, he does an amazing job coaching kids in his day job, so to speak. So definitely a talented instructor.
We've got Mikell in the blue, Alexandra in the green. I like the green gi.
Yeah, that's a dope gi. I love that hemp look.
You don't get a lot of green.
Natural.
The army green.
We used to have to dye the gis. There was only, blue, white for the most part. They didn't really have a lot of black and these other colors, so we dye them in the bathtub back in the day.
And there you saw Mikell in the blue try and do a collar drag, and it ended up giving Alexandra the back, which is not a great start on the collar drag.
And that's
quick submission finish, gets the neck on the collar.
Well, purple versus blue belt.
Yeah.
And, it takes a lot of courage to come in and do a match when you're a blue belt versus a higher belt.
We have a fastest submission of the night so far. I'm getting Alexandra on this list. Fastest submission. We don't have a lot of them go that quickly.
It was so fast I couldn't even get a good angle of it. So very, very slick jiu-jitsu.
Purple and blue belt, not as far apart as people would think when you get on the competitive stage. There's a lot of other factors, but that is how you expect it to go.
Well, purple belt, there could be a huge gap. It could be not much or it could be huge, and in that case it proved to be, definitely one of the determining factors.
That was a nice takedown.
Absolutely.
There is a submission of the night bonus. So look forward to that as we count it down. Next on the mats, moving right along, by the way, we have Kristi Russell of Mid-America Martial Arts versus Mindy Ashby of Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu.
Like it a lot. Two really good schools. Mid-America, Rodrigo Vaghi affiliates, one of the best gyms in the Midwest. Put out tons of talented people, tough people over the years. And Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu is my friend Wayne's school here in Kansas City. It's been around, one of the OG schools here in the area. So definitely looking forward to this match.
The competition, the competitive level, and just in this area of the Midwest, which is why we love the Ultimate Absolute. It's a chance to bring some of these people that are just crazy Midwesterners that like to fight to the main stage, and it's tough people. Tough people up and down the card.
Absolutely. That's why these matches have been so good so far.
And it looks like we have Kristi in the white gi, Mindy in the blue gi, which makes sense from Blue Springs. I think they have to do that.
Yeah, probably. It's in the contract.
But to have a Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu at KC, off to a nice, quick, and riotous start again.
Pass. Heavy.
Looks like Mindy imposing.
Yeah, these positions are starting off pretty quick where people are pulling guard and then not able to establish, and it's never a good thing.
135-pound gi match. They also will not get tired. Not during this time. They're conditioned to probably fight for about 25-30 minutes.
Could be. I mean, you never know how the nerves are going to creep up on you. Sometimes you think you can fight for an hour and you'll be tired in 2 minutes. In this type of environment where we've got a sold-out crowd. There's really, really good black belts on the card, so it's a little bit of pressure for a blue and a purple belt to compete at this level. But so far so good. We've had great matches. These purple versus blue belt matches. If it goes true to form, you'd expect the purple belts to win.
Mindy off to just a strong start, working that smash pass.
Absolutely, heavy pressure game.
And one of the things that, as you put this gi on, that gets even trickier is to pass. You got a lot more fabric to deal with. It gets harder. I
mean, it can go both ways. You can get tied up either way. It is a lot of work. I like Nogi because it's simple and efficient. The gi is like the Matrix. You have so many weapons. There's so many ways to win or lose. So right now, it's just that classic game, close guard.
The gi is more Stallone and Rambo versus no gi is more Stallone and Cliffhanger.
Yeah. I like that. I like that analogy.
But here it is. Kristi, not interested in just hanging out on bottom, starts to work active.
Mid-America athletes are tough. They're not going to quit, and they're not going to get intimidated even by a higher belt. So she's getting after it, working that choke.
She's putting pressure. You can see both her hands around the neck of Mindy Ashby.
She's locked a high guard. It's getting serious.
The higher up she can get those legs, the more she can control her head and neck, and it's a good thing.
She needs to get her hands in a little deeper. You can see them right there. They're not quite deep enough to get on the carotid arteries the right way at this point.
And this one in particular has a place in my heart. I train up at Jiu-Jitsu. This is one of the gym's favorite chokes, the start clock. Just start that cross choke whenever you move near them.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt Jubera, top-level black belt, for sure has a really dangerous choke game.
You can see Kristi definitely made Mindy think on that. She started to retreat a little bit. Mindy in the blue starts to retreat just a little bit on top.
I would, I'd be looking to stand up and pick her up and open the legs up and start passing. The longer you stay in that closed guard, and you know that the opponent's a good cross-collar choke artist, it just can't spell well for you being able to, win the match. She needs to look to posture and get up. It looks like she's trying to do that now.
Working on hand fighting now. Ultimate Absolute. We're in match 5.
5 of 23, I believe. Is that correct?
Looking forward to that Carlos Dalia Ezra Leonard
Carlos
fight,
Dallas. Yeah, my old school training partner versus Carlos Dallas versus arguably the best grappler in these parts, Ezra from St. Louis.
Oh, Mindy is working hard to get past the legs of Kristi Russell, struggling right now.
Yeah, to be able to pass, down low like that is very difficult when a person has a very game closed guard, shield guard open and everything. And here she goes with that cross-collar grip again. If she would stand, there she goes getting to her feet. This is the first start. And then she needs to try collapsing that right shoulder, putting the legs together, starting to do that a little bit. But you got to make some sort of explosive move, too. You can't just stand right in front of them, especially when they have that collar. She needs to strip that grip.
See Kristi look over to her coach to get some advice. That takes in that's an extra special level of training in terms of competitive, to be that calm
Absolutely.
While you're fighting.
Here she goes. Let's see if she can get around that top knee. She's really too high with her hips passing there to expect to be able to get around.
Kristi is putting on a display of hard-to-pass guard, while Mindy puts on a passing display at the same time.
Now here's one where I'm going to say at this point, especially with this omoplata, that the lower belt, the blue belt, is on the attack from the bottom and took control of that match.
That's pretty omoplata.
Absolutely. What she wants to do, and we'll see if she has enough space to actually see how she's trying to scoot her down, flatten her out. When you have this shoulder lock, here we go. Now Mindy's going to escape. She stepped over the head.
Mindy prepared for the omoplata. I am positive a position she's experienced before.
Yeah, for sure. And at this point, we're back into the stalemate in the open guard.
Tense match. The audience, sold out audience tonight here at Harris Casino. Crowding around. This is great.
Yeah, fun crowd. People are super respectful and cool. They're into it. And the competitors are definitely giving them a show.
That would be a little helicopter hip elevation where both fighters somersaults. And looks like the ref's going to stop him, reset him here. Oh, and Mindy's bleeding out of her face.
Well,
it's going to happen.
First blood of the night.
First blood.
Fastest submission, first bleeder. These are some of the prizes we give out.
I'm actually just going to jot down Mindy first.
Free defense soap.
We do have sponsored by Defense Soap here.
Here we go. Is that a Peruvian necktie? Is she, or is that, I can't see from here.
Looks like she's got, yeah, the arm in. She's not completely out. Kristi continuing to put on steady submission pressure. Let's get fantastic fight. This one's going to go to a ref's decision again. Going to be a little bit closer.
Yeah, I like the omoplata attack, the attack from the lower belt, the cross-collar grip, the resiliency from the guard. I'm not sure who they're going to give it to. Looks like blue.
Split decision in a 2-1. Winner, Mindy Ashby from
very
Blue
nice
Springs.
match by both ladies.
That was a good match. Maybe they just started bleeding from the face. They were like, she gets it. You put that pressure on.
Good match up there.
Good match. Moving right along here at the Ultimate Absolute. More fighters coming to the stage. This is Kevin from Verbal Tap MMA Comedy Podcast. With me, Ethan Day of Easton Castle Rock BJJ. Also find him on the Keystone Mountains. Someone that looks just really cool. No helmet,
cool.
just confidence.
No, down front side.
I tried to snow.
I skateboarded. I can't say that I'm snowboarding, unfortunately.
Not
or not, but I love it, and I love getting
up on the card. We have of Glory MMA versus Joe Urbina from KCBJJ. KCBJJ, local school here run by Jason Bircher. I got the chance actually to talk to Jed yesterday, who's got some experience, and these two have fought before, so this will be a good chance.
Yeah, I've seen Jose quite a few times. He's a game opponent. You know, everybody that comes from Glory, I mean, they're a bunch of animals over there, so I'm expecting good things out of both Jed and Josh, who's next on the list. And you know, I know everybody from KCBJJ is going to go ham and get after it. So
they don't really. They don't have a slower gear.
Yeah, that was my old school. Like I was there for 10 years, and Jason Bircher's done an amazing job. But me and Jason don't mess around. You know, we like everybody to get after it. So I expect anybody he trains to bring it.
We have Jed, who has the man bun is the only thing I can make the distinguishing.
He's got
in the
red, samurai cut
Jed
versus Jose, who looks like he's want to wrestle. He looks like he's just going to shoot a double right off the bat. Here we go with some hand fighting.
Pretty
arm
quick.
Drag. Look out.
Pretty quick. You know it's a wrestler when they start to
off
the grade.
If we had points.
Woo.
And some aggressive.
My family asked me, aren't people going to fall off the stage? It's like, yep.
And they might fall into the crowd. You better be looking out. There we go. There's another takedown. I shouldn't say two because we're not an IBJJF event, but very nice wrestling by Jose to start it out.
Jose, quick on that. Is he? I mean, I assume that looks like years of seasoned shot wrestling.
He's an avid competitor as well, so he knew what he wanted to do, and he's doing it. He's getting after it.
These two know each other. They're
Jed.
familiar.
Now look, Jed's slick, man, coming up on the sweep.
Jed also, my read of him, just a zen guy. Doesn't seem to be
samurai bun. Got the half guard sweeps. Seems like it.
Came in on his own, just ready to fight.
That's right.
You got to look out for those people.
No, absolutely. That's the type of people we want to fill these cards with. They're people that come to show their jiu-jitsu. You know, not to be closed, but to be wide open and going for things.
And that first shot can scare you,
but not tight enough. He gives the top position back up.
These two fighting Nogi. Let me get this.
Is this a rubber
here.
match?
160 pounds. Should be their third one.
Okay.
They should be 1-1 here.
1-1. So this has got high stakes right here. It's a bragging rights match.
And they keep track. I asked Jed yesterday. I was like, "How much do you know about your opponent?" He's like, "A lot."
They're zoned in. I mean,
these
guys are like really into this competition right here. So
we're starting to get into the point of the card, and pretty much everyone on here has a good amount of experience, either training or competing. But you're going to start to see things continue to get pushed up in the pace as we move up the experience scale.
The level of the dangerous, the level of danger, I should say, will only increase as the card goes on.
Sizing each other up here after that first minute burst. First minute of the match is the
Expect
hardest.
another shot from Jose off the hand fighting.
That was pretty. Right now, that's the definitive move of the match.
Yeah, but he got swept right away. So here, and now look at this arm drag, pretty close. Now here's the shot.
Jed pushes that head away.
Now he's getting into the rhythm. Stuffed the shot there.
Starting to get it looks like Jed's starting to get the timing Jose down a little bit in terms of how he's coming at him.
Mr. Flying Armbar Leonardo Pisagna, the referee.
Mr. Flying Armbar is a good title.
He's hit it so many times. I walked into Pan Am's before and looked at the screen, the big screen, and he jumped and flew and hit an armbar. And I was like, oh, my God.
It's the coolest submission to me still, the flying armbar.
He's very good at it.
Close cousin to the flying triangle. But
that's right. And that, in my opinion, is the slickest flying move of them all.
Well, a high degree of difficulty on both. This is a match we could see it.
Here we go,
so
high C.
Jose moves in again.
Into a double.
Jed is elusive.
Yeah, he is. He's tough. Jose's relentless.
Jed's going to have to start countering that a little bit,
Well, he did that
make some
time.
action
He's
of his
actually
own.
the last two exchanges. He absolutely stuffed it. So he's off to a better start than the first exchange. Look out! So he's getting the feel of it now. There, nice, beautiful kata gruma fireman's carry. Slick.
Joe Urbina, KCBJJ in the camo shorts and the blue. Jed Queen Glory in the all black.
Good open guard. Jose looking for a knee cut.
Two pretty flexible, pretty quick. It's a nice even matchup, it seems like, athletically.
Absolutely. Now there's that sweep again, that little open guard single leg dump that he does so well. Second time he's hit it. And I think at that point, looks he might have taken a little edge in the match at this point or taken the momentum away from Jose.
And I want to add a category of our list. I had craziest hair, but I'm just going to put best hair, and I got Jed as an early candidate.
Yeah, if he could have maintained that bun the whole way through.
That would have been impressive.
Yeah, you get like at least one of the judges in your pocket. But as it is right now, absolutely. He's got two sweeps versus two clean, maybe three takedowns, but two clean takedowns.
But here, Jed's starting to move.
Absolutely passing. Nice pressure.
Starting to move into complete side. Oh, there's that half guard Rio from Jose. I didn't see that leg still in.
Yeah, and here we go.
With the Nogi transitions, it's going to be fast and furious with these two until one of them gets into a position where that they like.
Well, what we want to see here and what would separate these two, because they're obviously evenly matched. One's a skilled takedown artist, the other's a skilled guard player. What we want to see is some submission attempts, to separate the two. Who's going to go for something first that's going to put the other person in danger of tapping out, which is the name of the game in submission-only jiu-jitsu.
No-gi rules. We've got the fight to win rule set with, I believe, an added addition of no heel hook, no...
Yeah,
no
there's
problem.
several.
You can heel hook, I guess is my point. No restrictions on it.
Yeah.
Continuing the hand fight. Whoa. Jed moves in. Gets a little double leg there.
I'll see Jose in the opposite position playing some open guard.
Both fighters comfortable switching from who's the aggressor in the takedown to who's countering pretty quickly.
Yep, and then we'll see if Jose can match with a sweep or submission attempt. We'll see.
Impressive twist.
It's really difficult in no-gi to lay on your back with your guard open like that. There's certain things you can do, like throw a triangle or a normal plot there, get an arm drag, but there's not really a lot of mobility.
Not a lot of
he's
attacks from there.
laying back like that. Now this is not a good position. There's the
time. That one went fast.
Absolutely. These seem to be rocking and rolling. We're rolling through.
Not even a deep breath on that one.
Who do you got?
It looks like we went once again. This is a split decision, 2-1 to Jed Queen. So I actually think Jed did have it. I thought he did a little bit better on the defense, a little bit more aggressive on the takedowns.
You could have went either way, in my opinion. I felt like I would have given it to him as well, just based on the slick sweeps from the bottom. But fireman's carry, takedowns. I could have went for Jose as well. I don't want to sound like I can't choose someone, but that really was the definition of an even match.
No, that fight was blurry to watch. Both of them were just too quick. It had a blurry factor.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I would have liked to have seen some submission attempts, but you can't always get what you want, right?
No, especially in 6 minutes, because those two look like they could have done that for another 40.
Yeah, that would have been one of those old school, 60-minute matches in the gym.
Alex Huddleston just entered the ballroom
Big
in the
dog,
back.
big
He's
dog.
on the card tonight. Another one of the Easton Castle Rock crazies.
He's definitely becoming, one of the best competitors around, and I'm enjoying watching his progression.
Yeah, and he's fighting John Hanson, which
Hanson's
is going to
an
be
animal.
That's going to be a clash of two really big, strong.
Last year they had a really close match, and this year I'm expecting an absolute war. The co-main event.
Love that you have chosen to spend your night with us here at the Ultimate Absolute. I am Kevin from Verbal Tap. With me, Ethan Day of Easton Castle Rock and just Jiu-Jitsu lore in the Midwest. Octavio Villanueva making this happen on the stream side. Travis T. Money Conley responsible for, first the stage, but in addition, this entire event. We have up next Josh Baker versus Carl Springer. Josh Baker took the stage first. Here comes Carl Springer to Let's Get It On by Marvin Gaye, and I'm in.
Yeah, whatever. If you want to play Marvin Gaye or Al Green, I'm going to be a fan of yours. I grew up on it, Love that music.
We have Josh in the black from Glory. Carl Springer from Rivers BJJ. We have a 195-pound match. Purple belt, Carl in the blue.
Yep, and I have never seen these guys go. I know Trevor Rivers is a very good jiu-jitsu black belt, so anybody trained by him should be good. So we'll see what plays out.
A little bit bigger guys in the gi, 195, and you can see that same thing we've been talking about. They're grip fighting right now.
Yeah, and guys that get a little bigger, you see a lot more of this, body locking and grip fighting, some judo. But here we go with a lateral drop.
Carl sidesteps him down and takes a dominant position.
Yeah, that's that. That's how it goes. Now we got tight side control.
Room is starting to get packed.
Go knee on belly. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone showed up. So
whoa, that's a lot of man to lift.
Absolutely.
Whenever they get airborne, you're going to hear our voices go up.
We're back in the mount position.
Almost pushed off the stage.
Look out. What? How do you do that as the ref? Keep him in balance.
That was impressive.
But, the guy, I got to give it to him.
Josh
definitely played some strategy there.
Flipped that thing around, yeah.
Rolled him in the corner. It's a great move.
Carl saw a little bit of stage light left and made a break. It's a good stop by the ref here. Absolutely. Neither guy in exactly submission position, but you want to keep him from falling off.
Yeah,
stage.
there was no significant reason not to stop that.
Didn't Carl pop his gi out? It looks like Carl did pop. Carl in the blue popped Josh's gi out when they were standing. So
yeah, that's a common tactic. Get the lapel game going, or
just give you more grips.
Yeah, absolutely.
For those of you clever with your gi top lapels.
We're in a tight Kimura right now. And if he can step over the head with that right leg, step over the shoulder, pick him up onto his left side, he should be able to break the arm. But you see the left arm of the
Carl. Yeah, Carl's got he tapped to it. Yeah, he got that crank on it.
Very sweet.
I didn't think it was that tight. Good spot on you.
No, it was super tight. It was just a matter of the angle.
Josh with the win via Kimura. I'm putting that one on.
That was sweet. I liked how he got thrown and came back and bossed up and took care of business.
Brooks' bow and arrow still gets it from me so far, but
yeah, absolutely.
Josh with the
Brooks' bow and arrow was slick, and the other submissions were definitely worthy of mention, though.
Next up, we have Garrett Nichols versus Patrick Garcia. Patrick Garcia from Mat Club JJ. Excellent. We have Ben from the Ultimate Absolute. Blue corner, the man, the Don of this lovely event hanging out with us.
Oh, man. You guys both did a great job. It's a really fun event.
Ben, much like Travis, looks a little too young and calm and energetic right now with all this pressure going on. We do have an intermission coming up after the 11th fight. But right now, we have Patrick Garcia, Mat Club, JJ coming to the stage in a white
old
gi.
school.
Had a baby 3 weeks ago. I was talking to Patrick. He has not had a decent meal until yesterday night in about 3 weeks.
So he's going to be ready to eat after this, I bet.
And I quote, I had to cut some dad bod. I didn't even realize it.
That's what happens when if you have a kid, you don't get to dictate your diet probably with a youngster.
Patrick Garcia, congrats to Patrick and Miss Garcia on the child. Here we have Garrett Nichols. Stop me if you've heard of Criqui BJJ.
Yep, another one of Cody's guys. It's going to be a good one.
And I don't mean, Garrett has face tattoos. That's
a
different
that can
sport.
mean a lot of things, you know. Yeah, that's the gladiator sport. Prison rules.
It might not make him a better fighter, but it certainly makes him more scary to me
before
wonder, the fight starts.
Like,
Patrick looking good, starting to use that baby cradle grip. I'm sure he's been.
Yeah, he might have a lot of frustration from lack of sleeping at night. You know, got to watch a man that hasn't slept in a while.
Garrett tries to dive in on that inside trip.
We're doing intermission between these two here. And then in the last intermission, we'll do before the co-main event.
Okay, sounds good.
Looks like Garrett's got a grip on that back leg. Oh.
Old school, looking for that old Hoist Gracie trip.
Nicely done as Garrett gets that trip as they come up.
Use that underhook and trip the opposite leg. Classic BJJ takedown.
Good judo game from both. Patrick and Garrett off to a nice early purple belts here. 210, I believe, is what they're 210-pound gi.
Good heavy pressure, looking to pass. Maybe
Anyone from Criqui BJJ is coming at it. See, in this case, his face tattoo's starting to help him get that leg pinned.
It's made him meaner, apparently, and now he is taking control of the match.
Looks a little calmer. You can see he's kind of waiting for Patrick to move here because he wants to react off of it.
He's got the angle. Now he went for a pretty loose submission. Let's see if he can pull it off.
Big guys doing some moving here on the mat, more than they're supposed to.
He's off angle a little bit, but I can't tell where his grips are.
It looks like he's sliding off the back, and Patrick's going to come back up into inside the closed guard here.
A little bit too loose, but you've got to go for stuff in this type of format. So props to him, but now he's playing in the guard.
Garrett Nichols in the blue, Patrick in the white. Looks like Garrett's trying to get a high guard again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know what he's thinking there.
Oh, nice leg
Got to be careful with your legs open like that for that reason.
And you can see Patrick looking to pass into side control here. Easier said than done with all those legs.
Yeah, he's got that knee there. Using a lot of strength to keep him off of him. He needs to start making some hip movements. There he goes. Good flexibility, and he's back in guard from now.
Now gets his hips posted back in that open guard. Is that like this from Patrick here? A little smash pass on the leg?
Yeah, getting real heavy. It's really hard to deal with when you bear down. And there we go. Nice scramble. Very good.
Battle of the
guillotine.
Beard versus the face tattoo. Right on that guillotine attempt.
Absolutely.
Good action here from two tenors.
Great action. We got, you know, the new father versus the versus face tattoo brawler, and it's making for a good match.
Face tattoo brawler's a good nickname, by the way. That's a good pro wrestling.
Good pro
Rips
wrestling.
him back, takes his back. Garrett in a good spot here. Legs crossed in front. Looks like he's trying to get a lapel. Okay, so he's got what you just saw was Patrick trying to cross up Garrett's feet there in front of him and put some pressure. You heard Ethan say footlock.
Bow and arrow. Let's see, he's not on the angle, but let's see if he can generate any pressure.
Garrett's trying to get in the submission of the night conversation, it looks like.
You know, when you're at that angle, though, he needs to be more perpendicular to be able to put the right kind of pressure on.
There's a lot of beard there to get through.
Absolutely, a lot of beard. He's in a pretty good position to defend this back attack.
Garrett keeping the pressure up, looks nice and calm.
Now he's in the trap.
And I did ask Patrick what he cut down from to get to 210. 242.
Oh my goodness.
242 to 210.
I guess he had it to lose, you know.
Right.
That is, not unusual for guys that size to be able to lose, 25, 30 pounds, but it's never easy. Even if you can do it, it doesn't make it easy.
The hardest part is cutting out beer. That's a pro tip.
Yeah, if you're already having a couple beers a night, it's going to be hard to convince you to do otherwise, unless you have a match coming up.
But you need to get down to 210 from 242.
You better get your ass down to 210.
It's a little easier.
Somebody's waiting on you. You know what I mean?
Especially when you see his picture and he's all tatted up.
Yeah.
Like, all right, here we go. From Criqui, let's do this.
Here we go. Now he's taking the lead, taking control.
Garrett has been in control of this match, it seems like, for about the last 2-3 minutes here. Working on an armbar.
Now we got a submission attempt.
Nice to the side.
Name
You
of
can
the game.
see Garrett in the blue trying to isolate that arm away from Patrick's body. Patrick trying to do anything but let that happen.
Yeah, and here we go. Now he's going to start putting some pressure on that defense, that grip.
What's he grabbing that top leg for?
Well,
What's
the
that
guy
for?
could do hypothetically do a hitchhiker and like walk out of that armbar. So you secure the legs so they can't hitchhike out of the armbar, and then he'll use his foot to break the grip, switch to two-hand grip, and try to finish.
Crowd's starting to yell. They're getting a little excited before the submission. Again, jiu-jitsu athletes are tough to hurt. They're just tough to kill. It's tough to get that submission.
Right, he could sit there for a long time protecting his arm like that.
You can see Patrick was ready to sit there for another 3 to 4 minutes.
Absolutely. Good match.
Good match. I can't help but think the decision is going to go the way of Garrett Nichols and Criqui BJJ, but
for sure.
let's give our judges a chance to weigh in. 3-0 decision for Garrett Nichols, Criqui BJJ.
And we've had a great card so far. The lower belts have showed up and put on a great show so far for us, setting up all the talented professional grapplers coming up.
I agree. Good showing from Patrick Garcia. Mat Club Jiu-Jitsu. Oh, we're back to the Nogi. I do.
All
I
right.
like those compliments to Travis again here and the folks at Ultimate Absolute. I like the back and forth. Like
I
a
do
nice
too.
mix.
I mean, it's a good visual. It speeds the game. You get all the grappling styles when you mix gi and no-gi up. Judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and definitely the new submission-only type of no-gi style.
And it's all submission grappling, but as Ethan can attest, they're different worlds with a lot of common themes,
Well,
a lot
all
of
of
common
the techniques
language.
from all the grappling styles come into play in these types of matches where you can start from the feet, you can attack legs, you can do a lot of different things. So you see a lot of different grappling techniques across the board.
We have Abhi Shashikumar from Lawrence Jiu-Jitsu versus Tommy Doolittle. 10th Planet Omaha. We've got a 10P4Ler.
Cool, awesome. And Lawrence Jiu-Jitsu is my buddy Charlie's gym. So
Charlie's
I expect
fighting
good
tonight on
things.
the main card as well.
Absolutely. He's got a good, tough fight on his hands. I'm looking forward to it.
Beast of a guy. I'm excited to see this one. We have Tommy Doolittle in the tatami white long sleeve rash guard. Abhi Shashikumar in the all black from Lawrence Jiu-Jitsu. Abhi versus Tommy. Let's fight. What we've been
Aggressive
talking about, right into the grip fighting.
Whoa,
Jumps for it.
So here we go now. Falling on the legs immediately, looking for that position and using it to pass.
And
but
they found the corner of the stage as fast as any two fighters have found it.
definitely a quick scramble.
Both fighters are going to be looking to attack legs, and Tommy's from a 10th Planet gym. That is not going to be uncommon for him.
Right. And here we go. Look at this. Tough guys.
As soon as I can catch my breath, I'll try and narrate what's going on. Here we go.
Right.
And a short pause in the action. As Tommy tries to, it looks like he's trying to sink in.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got the, look, he's got the, he lost the Kimura
Nice.
grip, I guess.
Here we
See
go.
him
Abhi's
Americana.
back in his guard, or near closed guard anyway.
If you're keeping track, that's 7 almost submissions so far in about a minute and a half. one near stage fall.
And one, yeah. And then definitely you don't want to practice guard pulling off of the stage. That's one way to not do martial arts.
Another pro tip from seasoned black belt today.
Try to pull where you don't fall off the stage.
Oh, Abhi pulling the wind. Yes.
Good scramble.
These two are quick.
Yeah, they're very quick.
Some clever matchmaking.
Game opponents.
155 pounds. They're going to move like wet cats the entire match.
That's right. Like grease lightning.
Because these two are used to fighting much heavier people at the gym, so when they finally get to fight someone 155 pounds, it's like Christmas.
Yeah, it's not a problem. You're like, oh, you're not 210? Cool, let's go.
Sounds great. Sign me up. Abhi from Lawrence Jiu-Jitsu, a KCBJJ affiliate. That's where Charlie trained out of.
For many years. Many years, and definitely Charlie's got a really fast, aggressive style. And you can tell Abhi's been training with him, and definitely close guard is a specialty that those guys would work on a lot. And so let's see what he can do here.
Props to the matchmakers for getting us a 10th Planeter. Had to travel all the way to Omaha to make it happen.
Yeah, there's not a ton of 10th Planet in the Midwest, but they're starting to have at least one school in all the big cities here. So I'm excited to see them on the circuit.
Can see Tommy trying to break down those hips and get out of that guard. Abhi has a strong guard. You can see Abhi trying to climb his legs up to do similar, but under his conditions.
Yeah, he's eyeballing the triangle. Obviously, he's looking for wrist and collar control. Maybe Tommy's just waiting on the legs open. There we go, running that pass.
See, I like the way Tommy keeps wrapping those.
There we go.
That
Let's
arm
see if
around.
that turns into anything. Oh, look out!
Tommy
tight footlock. He's got it. He's got a very nice footlock grip. Let's see if he can finish. Nope.
He's not able to get the knee
Abhi
line.
got out. Now he's.
Abhi did his own attack there.
Nice. Good scramble. Look out, trying to get that guillotine.
Tommy in the white rash guard, Abhi in the all black.
Both game.
Tommy might have a slight advantage here because of just a few submissions that got a little further, but there's plenty of fight left.
Yeah, definitely. No one's taking control at this point. Here's a nice takedown. Looks like all the way into side control. Really, really slick.
Tommy disproving that pull guard only theory with the 10th Planeters. He's posing some real top game here.
Well, you got to look at his 10th Planet Omaha. Probably, Omaha definitely has some good wrestlers and takedown artists.
It's more state country. Fight from the top.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do here from the side control. I'm not a big fan of putting the foot up on the leg. I'd like to see him bridge and try to get out. It's a short time. Sometimes a guard passel. There we go. Nice.
I feel like every time I plant my foot up there, I end up getting it pushed. Look at Tommy roll to the back.
Very nice. He stayed calm. Now he's got the body triangle.
That body triangle, again, you can see his left leg is over his right leg, which is across the sternum.
Abhi went to the right side this time.
That's good, right? It helps alleviate that pressure.
Well, and you can also walk. You can also put pressure on that foot to open the actual body triangle.
I see fighters do that. You're talking about Abhi putting his feet on Tommy's outside leg there and just
or pinning the bottom leg where you have the body triangle, and then so you can start pivoting your hips and forcing the feet open.
Getting a little leverage. There's going to be several moments
Tommy's here
while
with
Tommy
a choke attempt.
sinks this in. I'm just going to get free advice from Ethan Day.
Look out. Well, right here, there's not a lot, I can say. There's one guy who's got a very, very good position.
And he's right there on the jaw again.
Yeah.
That's just a straight-up face crank. He's not on the throat. He's just trying to make that sinus area hurt.
Abhi's super tough. He's fighting. He needs to try to pin something and then start working his hips out.
Tommy trying to pin that
It's going to be tough.
right arm of Abhi. You can see him putting that leg in.
Absolutely, yeah. He's definitely got a solid control right now.
If he can pin one of those arms, it makes choking him a lot easier, but it's easier said than done, as you can see right now.
Here's the armbar attempt. Should have a good attempt.
Transitions to an armbar.
Back and Abhi's up, and he wanted to go for a footlock, lost it. Here we go. Now they're brawling.
They break again. They smile a little bit.
Nice.
Abhi.
And at the time.
Time.
Good way to rep
I
yourself,
was going
buddy.
to clap for this one
Heck
real
yeah.
quick. Yeah.
One guy was, taking control, and then here we go.
Early spark plug fight nominee. 2 exciting ones out of Tommy. We have a 3-0 unanimous decision out of 10th Planet Omaha, Tommy Doolittle.
And good decision. That
Tommy,
was a good, scrappy match.
Do a lot in that match. Nicely done.
Excellent.
Keeping the pace moving here. Up next on the card, and I'm actually really excited to see this fight. I got the chance to talk to Sam Bremer from KCBJJ, who was losing 7 pounds in 72 hours.
That's Sam. Sam is an avid competitor and very intense guy. You know, he's gonna come. I know he's gonna come out bringing it. Like Sam has been having a lot of success recently, competing on the circuit. So he's gonna bring that experience into this match. And then I haven't seen Jordan go before, so I'm excited to see what he brings to the table.
He fought in the advanced round robin today.
I take that back now. I remember him because it was
multiple
Nogi.
heel hooks. Nogi.
No,
yes.
slick
Yeah.
butterfly guard, lifting people up, attacking the legs. That's
Absolutely.
right. I did see him. Very, very good. I didn't notice him because he was in the gi right now, and he was in a white and black rash guard earlier today.
Yeah, we've got a gi match with him here from
Interesting.
No Coast BJJ.
So he won't be using those heel hooks.
No, not as much this round. There's
Where
Jordan
is No Coast
Peitzman.
BJJ? I wonder.
Iowa is what I thought I heard.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which No Coast.
Well, you got the Mississippi River. You can go. What do they call it when you pull catfish out with your hand?
I'm not sure that counts.
Noodling?
Noodling.
You can drown.
They had the Mississippi River. Jordan Peitzman in the blue top, black pants.
Here's this is going to be an interesting one. This guy from No Coast was super impressive today with his butterfly guard, and Sam is a heavy passer. 2 purple belts. It's going to be interesting. Johnny Cash come out song. So
Sam
walk out
Bremer
song.
in looks navy. Is that navy or black?
It looks navy to me.
Navy
He's got the
gi.
Hyperfly with a big patch. He's ready to go.
Love those Hyperfly gis. This is just
Those are dope.
Free.
Then
They're so light.
Then our buddy from No Coast, he's got the mismatched gi.
That's old school.
It looks slick.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
got
it.
that sort of Brazilian
black-
2010 look to him.
That's right.
Jordan imposing the same game we saw from him, though.
He's got a nice shield, quarter guard or shield guard.
That knee shield, you can see Jordan's top left knee poking right into the ribs of Sam. He's doing that. That's that knee shield. It hurts.
It's a shield, but it's also called the quarter guard because when you tweak the hip right there and put the point of your knee in the hip, it's very difficult to deal with as the passer. What do we got going on now?
Looks like Jordan's
Little
inverting
reverse
and looking for a
reverse
lapel.
Eva, but stayed in the half.
I think Jordan's going to get crafty. I think we're going to see some.
Yeah, he's trying to go under him. See if he's going to hit that lockdown.
He did free that lapel.
Right.
You can see
how he's trying. There we go. Sam's moving into his knee cut.
KCBJJ does a lot of pressure
The
passing.
reverse de la Hiva action. There we go. There should be a sweep, but no. Sam pressure pass got up.
Sam's
almost
got the
turned
grips
the corner.
he wants.
He needs to keep going, dropping his weight. He's a little high. I don't know if he's going to be able to pass that high.
Jordan has one tough guard. He is extremely
How many
tough
matches
to
did
get
he
in front
have
of.
today? Like 4?
I watched him fight
match number
6
5,
times.
so match number 7.
Yeah.
What a stud.
And I don't know if he was in the gi matches earlier. I wasn't here for that.
Maybe he's fought like
match
12 or
18.
15 times
He's
today.
fought kids.
What a lunatic.
He's not too tall.
Good for him. He's definitely a game opponent. Now
100
he's got his closed. Going back into that shield. Oh, nice pass by Sam. Beautiful timing.
170 pounds. Sam just waiting, biding
That's
his time,
that
putting that pressure on.
competition experience. The timing's good. Now he's up in his knee on belly. Now he's back to half.
Knee on belly, exactly as it sounds. It's good for keeping that pressure even more aggressive. And Sam looks unfazed so far by some really active guards.
Sam's been in with some tough guys over the past few years. And so he's definitely going to bring it the whole time. He's going to look to get up off the mat and start his pass again once he gets the grips he wants.
And they're grip fighting again right here. You can see just
Oh,
sorta
absolutely. Jordan is definitely trying to get under him. There he goes. Look, got that leg separated. As he was showing earlier today with heel hooks. It'll be a little different here. There's the back step pass. Very slick by Sam, but not quite the result he was looking for.
6-minute rounds. We have a stacked.
But there's a nice
main
footlock
event
going on right now.
Yeah, Jordan's got that foot. He looks like he's on the knee line too.
Sam's
a little bit
got the lapel he's holding, so he can't stretch the foot out, but it is still an uncomfortable position for sure.
Starting to work his way up, put some pressure on that foot so Jordan can't put the bend on it he needs to.
That's not a classical footlock. You notice his left foot is on the outside, more in like an outside Ashi heel hook style position. You can generate enough pressure to hurt the foot though from there, but at the same time, definitely not as much pressure if you had the left leg inside and
Just
under the leg.
Fun nuance. If this were a Nogi match, he would be attacking that heel hook differently.
I know Sam would be in a lot more trouble. He might be in trouble now. It is tight, but he would definitely be in a different ball game if it was Nogi.
Oh,
look at that, nice, and he
twists
tapped
it
him.
and gets
Beautiful technique.
lovely.
Sam from the footlock caught the arm by surprise of Jordan. Best submission of the night so far.
I was just going to say, Sam goes to the top.
Definitely overtook our...
Sam Brenner for submission of the night, early nominee. That was a surprise. Goes from deep in the hurt locker to an arm bar.
And that's that competition experience, not being, shaken by anything that's going on, keeping your game going on and not letting them get into theirs. And he's grimacing. He might just be tired, but maybe his foot's a little sore. We'll see.
His foot's a little sore.
Yeah.
You can see it on Jordan's face. Surprised that he gives his opponent
Jordan's
the kudos.
Definitely slick, but Sam definitely took him out assassin style.
Slick guys get caught all the time. There was a nice.
Everybody in this sport can get caught. That's for sure.
That is going to be it for the first. Are we going to?
We're on intermission now.
I'm giving you
It's intermission now. After this match.
Octavio, help me to help you on the production side here. I'm doing my best to take notes, calculate. Octavio's going to go find out if we're indeed on intermission while Ethan goes and coaches some people, giving me the thumbs up. You are watching The Ultimate Absolute. We will be right back after this short break. I am Kevin from Verbal Tap MMA Comedy Podcast. The Ultimate Absolute, live from Harrah's Casino, Kansas City, Missouri.
special thank you to all of our sponsors: Defense Soap, Allstate, Shane Morrison Agency, Luminous Technologies LLC, Boyer Law Firm, Will Shields Fitness and 68 Sports, Longboards, Wraps and Bowls, Matt Warrior, Hemp Life Kansas City, and the Smoothie Shop and Supplements. Anybody ever had a longboard, wrap, or bowl? Anybody? Anybody have a longboard? I hear very rant and rave about them. I've never had one. I'm going to have to try one now. I'll be honest, when I first read this, I was like, we got a skateboarding company sponsoring this? Really? All right, where's Sarah and Elena? Isn't Ty Brown doing a good job over there, our TJ? Little fun note. Ty and I grew up together. We were childhood friends since we were 10 years old. I've known Ty a long time. No, I haven't. I've known Ty since I was 10, so about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Ty and I met. All right, so we've got some t-shirts. Who wants a t-shirt? Who's yeah, okay. Who's giving these t-shirts away? Okay, so I'll call those numbers. Sweet. Oh, okay, good. Those are the free throws? Okay, so, is this a guy's t-shirt, girls? It's a hemp life. Ooh, hemp life. That looks like a girl's t-shirt. What girl wants a hemp life t-shirt? Or a guy that likes a girl shirt, either way. You can't throw it all the way over there? Yeah, right there, right there. Oh, good move, dude. Good move. Did you get, oh, good. Yeah. All right, let's do the Luminous t-shirts. All right, so if you got a raffle ticket, is this a raffle ticket? Or is this a special ticket from Luminous? Okay, so if you did a Luminous ticket for the t-shirt, real quick, get them out real quick. I'm going to read off the number, and then you'll come and get your t-shirt from the Ring Girls here in just a second. All right, so one of our winners is 899027. Bingo! If I read your ticket, come on down and get your t-shirt. The other t-shirt is 899025. 899026. Someone's gonna win a bunch of t-shirts if they bought a bunch. They got a bunch of these. All right. That one is 899024. Is that the same number? Oh man, all in a row. 899023. And then what about the one for the $10,000 cash? No, that's later? Okay. All right, so if I read that ticket number, come get your Loomis t-shirt from one of the girls. We're seated right over here by the stage. And yeah, so don't forget, see one of these girls for your chance to win the cash at the end of the night, right before the main event. All right? Give these beautiful girls a big round of applause. Thank you. Come on now. All right, so let's get our next match on the way. Fighting out of the red corner, fighting for glory, Paul Kolenda. That's actually Kolenda, probably. His opponent, out of the blue corner, fighting for Gracie, Columbia. Let's hear it for Matt Williams.
We are back at the Ultimate Absolute. Our next two fighters entering the cage. You did miss the even more attractive than normal James Krause. UFC fighter.
Speak
here to
for
go.
yourself, buddy. I mean, the dude can fight. I'll say that.
Pretty attractive for a fighter is all I'm saying. Like the face
You,
of Mars.
you can speak on that. I'll talk about the fighting skills. How
Matt
about
Williams versus Paul Kolenda at 160 pounds. We'll get right to the brown belts fighting.
that? Yeah. Now, Gracie Humata Colombia, probably one of J.W. Wright's affiliates. And then we've got another Glory fighter. They've all been game so far, so we'll see what happens.
Paul Kolenda in the black.
Looking to posture up, but those cross collars in there make it definitely hard to get your head up and stand up. So
Now
he's getting caught tight. That's old school classic Gracie Humata Jiu-Jitsu. Master Elio would be proud.
you're talking about Matt Williams and that
Yeah,
choke
absolutely.
he's got right
See
on
how,
right now
how
from that
red
back. Yeah.
my man's getting now. He's going to go out, or the grips aren't all the way back to where it's like super, if he doesn't tap, he's going to die or go out. But if you sit there and there he goes.
There's a
That
little
left
space.
hand, you see the left hand, it's just not high enough up in the collar. He needs to pull him down with the legs more. There he goes, letting go of it.
Brown belts, to me, the most dangerous belt, because they have a lot to prove and nothing at the same time, but they've been doing this a while.
Yeah, I mean, guys that get out there and scrap a lot at brown belt are usually pretty tough guys because it's definitely one of those belts where the danger level starts going up,
We have Paul Kolenda in the black trying to pass, but at least thankful to be breathing again fully.
Yeah, absolutely. He got out of the initial choke and he's doing some good pressure here, but our Gracie Mata fighter, Matt Williams, is showing that good open guard skill. Look out, here we go.
6 minutes in the gi. Looks like he's trying to get those legs, those long legs.
Yeah, it looked like a quick potential triangle or omoplata attempt, and then he's setting himself up pretty good here. Attacking that bottom arm, but here we go with a pass.
Another couple of Missouri people, so really anything could happen.
Oh, yeah.
There's no rules in Missouri.
There's no rules. There's parking lot rules. You find one of those empty champagne bottles outside. Definitely Harris Casino has its share of partiers.
With the stage, Lucas Conley was joking there's tons of ladders down there, a few
Yeah.
chairs, a crowbar underneath the stage, so if you can get it, it's fair game.
The Conleys are pro wrestlers, so I would not be surprised if they don't have a ladder and a steel cage.
How do we
laying
not
around
have
out
a
in the shed.
Conley intermission? Just a few of the Conleys fighting each other on the
Yeah,
stage
or,
would be
or
fun.
doing some of their old pro wrestling.
That's
absolutely.
absolutely. I presume they don't. That's all they. Half wrestling, half brotherly
absolutely.
aggression. Kolenda doing some inversion now.
Got the cornholio.
Matt's
over
up.
the head. Here we go with
Matt trying to get some pressure. It looks like he's in full side control now.
cannot see from my angle, but definitely looking to work that choke. He's got a very classical game, what you'd expect in out of a Humata guy.
Now moving to north-south as Paul Kolenda tries to invert those legs around.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to do it too, yeah. Helps him regard. Flips right around. That's a good position. That's Paul Kolenda in the black, working from bottom guard
Close
just to try and keep Matt in front of
Close to
him.
a knee slide here.
Yeah, Matt looks pretty comfortable where his legs are.
We go in the turtle. Maybe see a clock choke attempt, and then you have him roll back over. Here comes a back take attempt, and then let's see how this turns out. Looks like
Paul's attacking
Paul's
that
on the
toe
legs.
hold.
Yeah. Oh, nice switch to knee bar.
He's going to attack that toe out the back.
The knee line's not quite out yet. He needs to push with his foot. There he goes, pushing the butt.
Boy, it's like he's listening to you.
He needs to do it sooner. There we go. Now the sweep, very nice by Paul using that knee bar attempt to come up on top.
Good exchanges here. We're going back and forth.
This is a good match. These guys are solid.
Right now, all you have is the shadow of the very good-looking James Cross. I'll stop talking about James Cross.
Yeah.
No, that's
No, I mean, there's not a better person to talk about. I mean, but, you might talk about his MMA skills.
I mean,
and
sure.
not his complexion.
Tough alumni. Done a few things in the MMA realm.
He's definitely something else. I know he trains out in my neck of the woods these days, out Factory X a lot, and those guys are the real deal. Definitely really good Muay Thai fighters, good MMA fighters.
And here, coaching his brown belt.
Yeah, he was bit when he first came onto the scene as a white belt. He had this triangle no one could figure out. Definitely made a mark in grappling before he got famous in MMA with James Krause.
It's like Matt's digging deep to try and get that lapel, but it's just not taken.
Well, I mean, these guys are pretty equal in athletic ability, the technical proficiency, and everything. So that's kind of what we're seeing is, them going back and forth. If Matt can use his legs a little bit more, I mean, it's easier said than done. Paul's doing a very good job with his elbows, but maybe open that guard up and just start going and see what happens.
They are running out of time,
because
so
definitely
now's the moment.
It's definitely not a point game.
Yeah, right now we're pretty stale too in terms of the positions. Nothing stands out a ton outside of that. Maybe that first cross collar choke attempt.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird thing, because the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, the heart of the art is definitely self-defense, and it's not necessarily moving around. It's winning. It's defending yourself and ultimately using strategy and beating an opponent using your mind over muscle. And sometimes it takes more than a few minutes to solve the puzzle. Definitely, if you got a guy as strong as you and you're in the closed guard, it's tough to get stuff going. So,
props to the referee for keeping both fighters on the stage there with 2 arms and a prayer. Nicely done. This one's going to go to the judges. Do not envy the judges in this particular scenario. You have to pick someone.
Well, if it's submission only, it's just the rules of this match. If you're going from submission, you'd probably have to say Paul with the knee bar was closer than Matt with the
judges
the choke. But he definitely was in control a lot from his guard and also the positions.
Judges go a unanimous decision for Matt Williams from Gracie Humaita.
Good showing.
Breaking in our first, that's the most advanced grapplers of the night we've had at the brown belt. We have up next very exciting match between Phil Raphael and Kaylen Bourne.
Yeah, Phil's from BJJ Lifestyle Academy. My good friend Brazilian Mike Rothmeyer, one of the best grapplers in the anywhere, but definitely in the St. Louis area. He's just a phenomenal source of knowledge, and anybody under him is going to be tough. And then we got a guy, Kalen, from Shootbox, which is a new school here in Kansas City, I believe. I don't know how long they've been. You know how long Shootbox has been in town?
I don't.
But they're in Kansas City, Kansas now. Obviously the legendary Shootbox team.
I'm giving you that look like I didn't know Shootbox was.
They have a
new
school.
gym
I just
here.
saw a T-shirt, and I've seen some of their photos from classes. Looks like they got a good group. So we'll see how they do tonight.
A compliment to the sport of grappling getting so big, it's hard to track gyms in Kansas City, which is
That's
very
a good
new.
thing, yeah.
It's a very new.
That is a new concept, yeah, absolutely.
We have Phil Raphael taking the stage, came in from, I have this here, Belleville, Illinois.
Yep. And that's, like I was saying, BJJ Lifestyle Academy, under my buddy Brazilian Mike, who's was one of the judges before this match. He's stepping away to coach his student.
Fighting Kaylen Bourne. Shoot box. Here in Kansas City, we have a 180-pound gi match. You can already see, Phil's like, I'm ready. Let's skip the pleasantries.
Yeah, Phil, I was watching compete, and he's definitely a gamer, so this is going to be exciting.
Phil's ready to do this. We're going to smack hands. Kombash. Time to fight. Start with the grips, but I expect this one to start moving fast. Both fighters look a little wiry.
Close guard jump. See how this differs from the last match. He's pulling that lapel out. Here we go. Classic lapel game, looking for that arm bar.
It's a little bit more, I guess, well, I'll give you the chance, but this dragging the lapels out and trying to get those exposed and ready seems like something people have been doing for a long time for very different reasons.
The game is definitely, since Keenan Cornelius has come on the scene and added all the variations, it's gotten a lot more intricate.
Phil's Ezekiel choking.
There we go.
He's trying to get that Ezekiel in.
Standing
Sneaky.
up, he doesn't quite have the leverage. That's a smart thing to do when you're dealing with someone strong in closed guard, is get up, pick him up, and start opening the guard from there. Now you can see he's working through with some good pressure.
And if you're wondering why he didn't slam him there, you're not allowed to in the gi unless the triangle's on, I believe.
Yes, that's the way I understand it as well.
So he can't just slam him. We'll get there. The rules will change for a no-gi match later.
Like, honestly, and also with the gi, gripping the material and slamming somebody. I mean, you can like those rules, but slams are slams. You can definitely, get injured in the spine and your neck and not be able to train anymore after it.
Less worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do like the slams though.
It's fun to
Jackson.
watch. It's pretty fun to watch. And especially when someone's trying to triangle choke you.
That's where I agree. I think
really
you should be able to
helps.
slam there because the triangle person needs to know how to go under the leg,
Yeah. Stalled here. It looks like Phil's trying to get underneath here.
Well, it's that lockdown position again. It's a pesky position because if you get the lockdown put on you and you move quickly, you could tweak your own knee. So he's trying to alleviate that pressure on his right knee.
And if you're in the lockdown, and you're talking about Kalen's pressure, but if for Phil, as he applies the lockdown, it limits his movement as well, right?
Well, he's actually looking to control. When you're in the lockdown, you want to elevate their hips and lift that leg up and then start to work a sweep that would be like the electric chair is what they'd call it, or something similar.
Shout out to the 10 Planeters. The electric chair.
Or, yeah, I get lost in all the names. But basically, we're out of that position right now anyway, so we're not going to see that.
I do like some of the more new modern namings getting a little less over masculine. We're starting to get, it's like worm guard. I'm ready for something like a nice bird guard.
Yeah.
Something flamingo.
The cockatoo guard.
It's got a nice ring to it.
That
already.
might not be a good
That'll
guard.
take a different turn in KCBJJ, I can assure
we
you.
won't call it that.
Resets him here. This happens especially when they're in the gi and you've got two good brown belts. What they're doing right now is stalling for every inch, which is just to say you give up the wrong inch and this fight ends quick. So they're trying not to do that.
The stakes get high at brown and black belt. Yeah, there's no margin for error for sure.
And even a small little detail there you can't quite see from the broadcast, but Phil raised his head up to try and start to move a sweep, and immediately Kalen put that overhead grip on to start putting pressure on the head. Those little small details.
He's laying heavy on the underhook and, the attempted underhook. So he actually has the top man.
Both
Kalen has a real nice top pressure.
Both fighters pretty comfortable right now. No one's in too tough a position. Looks like
He's got that underhook. He's trying to butterfly guard sweep from there. He's going to maybe get it, actually, here, and good balance. Now he's got an underhook passing half. So that's the thing about butterfly guard. It's a really productive guard, but sometimes when you don't sweep the person, they can step over into the half and flatten you out, which seems what's happened.
Now
we're back.
See, Phil had that lapel grip again, gave it up. Didn't like the way it was starting to expose him for some pressure. And these two are locked into this position right now.
Kalen's definitely strong. Now, here we go. He's lifting his hips fine. He's got an underhook. So now he can actually kind of work on the half guard here. He can, with that underhook, potentially, get up on the hip and get a single leg takedown, or maybe that is called a dog fight from this position, actually, if you can come up. But Kalen has really good top pressure.
To the hundreds of you watching around the world, we appreciate you joining us here tonight at the Ultimate Absolute, where best hair still goes to Jed Queen,
for sure.
But again, a lot of fighters left here. Right now,
not a lot of hair though.
No, we actually have noticed there's
not a lot of hair in the crowd. High testosterone, low hair is most of the crowd here tonight, but that's all right.
Trying to pull that gi up. This is great. This is a very hockey-style move. You pull it over his head, you blind him. It's less technical, but it certainly is hard to breathe with the gi over your
when
face.
Someone has, an underhook and they've got the lapel passed like that, you've got to be careful. Look, see how he bumped him? Now the sweep is getting closer, but Kalen is very heavy on top. He's doing a great job of being patient and shutting down this half guard.
We're coming to the last 20 seconds of this match. It seems like Phil's trying as hard as he's got that grip on the lapel, which gives him some leverage. Struggling to get Kalen off that position.
Left hip a little too heavy, to give him an easy sweep there.
Kalen part of the ground right now, it looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly. He's
dropped anchor. Oh, nice shot from the referee. Hits him directly in the head with the time.
That was the closest submission of the night.
Nice shot
for that.
Throw the time rag at him. We go to a judge's decision here. Waiting for the judges to render a verdict. I would say even maybe a little bit more narrower than right on par with that last one. I think I'm going to give it to Phil as the edge out. I just thought he worked more during.
Yeah, and I could see it going either way here.
Classic. If you think that it's easy to tie that belt, you'd be wrong, especially after a nice 6-minute bout. All three judges are on my side here with the win from BJJ Lifestyle Academy. Phil Raphael with a hard-fought battle against Kalen Bourne. You are watching The Ultimate Absolute. I am Kevin Phillips from Verbal Tap MMA Comedy Podcast. Alongside me, Ethan Day, Castle Rock.
Great
BJJ.
to be here, man. Appreciate it. Enjoying all the matches. And we're coming up on match, 13?
This one is, these two have definitely fought before, and I know for a fact this fight was requested by one of the fighters.
Absolutely. And
Mark wanted this fight.
Did he want this fight? Mark is a tough guy at KCBJJ. And then Vikinti is a master of sport in Sambo. Very good at leg locks, judo. And he had a great match last year at the Ultimate with Isaiah Wright.
Vikente McKeeb, and this is a good chance for us to, well, he's not here, so we can say whatever we want about Joe Wilk, but I always get worried.
SOB. I'll say whatever I want.
You can say whatever you want. I get
my
a little
old roommate.
nervous. He'll just pop up.
Yeah, he's definitely a nerve-wracking SOB, but I love the guy.
He and Dave Durnell showed me what jiu-jitsu was in 2007 at Kansas State University with some combatives. We actually have Andy Weefald on the fight card tonight that I'm really excited about.
My homeboy Andy.
Combative Sports Center does not mess around.
No, they're real. It's a real fighters gym. It's a real black belt jiu-jitsu gym. Definitely, everybody brings the kitchen sink with them, and definitely miss Joe. Joe's out in Germany promoting his the accelerator, and
he's selling that BJJ dummy.
That's right, and definitely check it out.
BJJ 9K.
9K.
Yeah, I will say after watching a lot of the videos, it looks a little different. I like that. I like the way
you
it
can
fights
do
back.
tons of positions where it gets really boring to train on a regular grappling dummy. This one is great for ground and pound. You can actually work guard passing elements, sweeps, and different submissions for sure. I'm excited to see Vikinti, man. He is a submission machine, takedown machine. So badass Sambo grappler, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt.
This is one of the matches of two schools I like seeing fight. We have Kansas City BJJ with Mark Walton. And here comes Vikente McKeeb.
Heck yeah.
Combative Sports Center. That'd be a fun Karate Kid matchup style, just Combative Sports Center versus KCBJJ.
We should do that next year.
I'd watch a 5-on-5 of that,
Hell
just
yeah.
straight up
Me
and
too.
down.
Me too. Two schools that I actually coached at and hell, it was around at the foundational stages in, and super proud of both programs.
We have Andy, speaking of, in the corner of Vikente over there from the Combative Sports Center side.
Daniel Montagna, black belt.
Here comes Mark Walton.
Jason and Eddie in the
Jason
corner.
Bircher in the corner. It's going to be a good match. There was some buzz yesterday at the weigh-ins. I was talking to some of the fighters. There was a lot of people talking about this fight specifically.
Oh, yeah. Vikinti
calling it out.
And my man Mark are always game.
Mark in the purple. Venti in the Russian.
Look out for the foot sweep. Beware of the Russian.
Beware.
Here we go. Nice shot. There we go.
Vikinti gets
can't
good,
quite get him over.
Good counter pressure on that neck, though.
Yep, absolutely. We go into butterfly.
These two have fought before. They know each other well. They wanted this fight.
That's the best, too, when people are gunning for each other and excited to show up and put on a show.
One thing I will say that I'm noticing is a difference with these two straight away as Mark tries to get past this Vikinti's leveling up. These two a little calmer right out of the gate, more experienced.
Ton of experience. Like Vicente is the type of guy. When I was throwing tournaments a few years back, he was at a lot of the tournaments I threw, kicking people's asses. Smooth grappler. So let's see what happens. Definitely, he's in for a challenge tonight. Mark with this heavy pressure wrestling. Good battle of styles.
We're at a minute in. This is about where I expect to see this fight, but it is going to take a turn. At some point, these two will explode out of this
Vicente
position.
trying to get under. Mark's got very heavy pressure, you could tell.
Vicente known for his leg attacks, but that comes with that Sambo world. They kind of
Yeah, I mean, he definitely
crafty.
has some modern BJJ leg locks, but he had that Sambo base where, they are just tough and get after it and go and very innovative in the leg locks, attacks, and knee bars and all that stuff. So.
both comfortable in a lot of sessions. Vicente already starting to get that arm out from Mark there.
The Kimura attempt on the side is developing. Mark's really strong. He's leaning over that Kimura. Be tough to finish from there, but he might be able to get it.
I like that grip. I use that with that outside leg. I try and butterfly hook in for some sweeps. You use it maybe just more as a grip to
Yeah,
scare
no,
people, right?
I get what you're saying. I absolutely work that as well. Trying to grip and sweep. Because now look what happened. Now Mark's over at the top of it in half guard. And that's what happens when you go for things sometimes. If you come up short.
Get greedy, as I used to be
You got to
called.
go for stuff, though. You know, this is definitely not an advantage fight.
Neither fighter coming in for that, both looking pretty strongly to put a submission here for both bragging rights, and these are competitors.
Yeah, possible
Still like
tiebreaker.
going.
Who knows what their record is against each other at this point.
Gyms that know each other well. You can still see Mark keeping that
Big
KCBJJ
pressure.
top pressure on.
Yep.
Thigh tattoo sneaking out.
Thigh tattoo makes him 10 pounds heavier.
I was just going to say, doesn't look like someone I would have pegged as a massive thigh tattoo. I like this.
Yeah, look at the heavy pressure. Definitely heavy because Vikente's a crafty. You know, if you're pinning him down, definitely a heavy passer.
I've heard Tattoo Ink actually does weigh the leg down sometimes with a little extra in there.
I love it. A little more lead. Let's see. Can get that right knee line free, but Vicente has his right arm underhook, so
I like that pressure point of that shoulder. Oh, he lost it here. It looks
Yeah.
like Mark was
Up.
starting to put
There we
pressure on
go.
the neck. Vikente's up.
yep, he's up and out. Boom.
Nicely
There's the takedown
done.
again. Vicente can't quite get the sweep, and here we go back in the same type of position.
Mark Walton with one nifty little counter there. He did
Super
something
heavy.
extremely crafty to keep control.
Look at this.
He moved his head in and out just enough to keep
Go in the
position.
front headlock position.
Tough
Looking to
guys.
snap him back down to the elbows and possibly hit a. Oh, look out! He's going for the guillotine arm in.
Riding
It's
that
tight.
neck all the way
It's
down.
tight, and Vicente being the tough.
Pops that head
wrestler
out.
He is. He's out.
Hard to catch those Ruskies.
Yeah, they definitely don't tap easy. Let's see what we got now. Now we got Vicente on top. Let's see if he can make the most of it like Mark was when he was doing that heavy passing. Vicente looking to posture up.
Vicente taking a deep breath because he's been carrying a lot of Mark's weight so far in this match.
Yeah, he definitely needs to get his bearings.
We're at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This is the chance somebody needs to start making some moves because right now I think Mark's had some control in terms of power. And
Yeah, you have to give it to him so far just on the aggressiveness and the wrestling prowess.
some deep breaths from the crowd. A lot of people have fought these two and know what they're capable of. Very quick. So Mark looks like he's diving for that leg down there a little bit in the closed guard.
He's just kind of fishing for whatever he can get. There he goes. Now maybe he's going to cut an angle or create a scramble if Vicente decides to start popping up. Look out. Swinging the leg. Here he goes for the knee bar attempt, the leg lock attempt. This is where
Swings that leg
Vikente's
around.
good. Let's see what they can do. Here we go.
Vikente's jumping all over that opportunity. Tries to get another, and
There's
he's
the
got a
heel
heel
hook.
hook he's trying for.
Again, he's got the outside Ashby right there. He needs to. There we go. Belly down. Doesn't really have the right angle there.
Mark
Now
so
he switched back.
far,
It's good now.
Mark's
And-
defense keeping strong.
Yeah, he's hiding that heel really well. Staying over his hips.
staying calm. He does know what McKenzie's trying to do, so he knows it's coming.
Right. McKenzie, if he could squeeze his thighs together and start working his knees back towards the ceiling, get that ankle up.
We're at 5 minutes and 45 seconds. We're coming down in the last 10 seconds of this fight. This might be enough if he could leave an impression in the judges.
Look out. Here's
There's
a knee bar
his
attempt.
knee bar look. Time.
Wow. That's a tough one.
Kenty might have stole that there with some more aggressive submission attempts in the last minute.
Well, that's the name of the game. That's what we're really trying to go for. Not just passing the guard and sweeping, but like actually getting the person out of there with knee bars and arm bars and chokes. So let's see.
All three judges disagree with my
He's not
attempt.
close
Go with the
enough.
hometown favorite.
Definitely not close enough to sway the judges.
Mark Walton gets a win. Mark had a lot of pressure up front, seemed to put the initial attack on, kept the pressure up. I like that decision. McKenzie does not seem as impressed with it. Good fought match from both.
He competes all the time. He's going to move on to the next one. Good effort from both competitors.
And off the stage, Andy Weefall and Jason Bircher are really going at it. Psych. Just a little throw out. They shook hands, kept it cordial. It's very professional here. Next up, Jared Gibbs versus Brandon Cox at 225 pounds. We're going to finally put this stage to the test.
Absolutely. We got the badass Zach Cummings coming out with our
Zach
man
Cummings?
Jared, yep. And then
Hey!
Brandon's actually one of my brown belts, and he's now moved back to Kansas City and training with his original coach, Wayne, and Wayne told me he's ready to go, so I'm excited to see.
Up there with the Blue Springs BJJ.
Yes, sir. Got a little Johnny Cash. We had just a second Johnny Cash, but that's to be expected in KC.
And here comes Jared Gibbs of Glory. Zach Cummins over there in the corner, though, another MMA fighter.
Top level MMA fighter, tough as they come.
Both fighters in the black.
They actually look like they might possibly be first cousins.
Jared on the right.
Got the same haircut, kind of.
Brandon, Jared has the yellow patches. Brandon has the red, if that's at all helpful. We got to talk to somebody in our wardrobe department about gi match colors. So we get Jared Gibbs a rainbow-colored gi.
There you go. Or rainbow-colored haircut.
Oh, and then he'd be a candidate for best hair, too.
Let's see what we got. Brandon with a big frame, the overhook.
These big guys are not pulling guard, by the way. These big guys are going to take this to the ground one way or the other, but they don't like being on their back.
Brandon, there we go. Some grip fighting for both guys.
Grip fights, it's just extremely important for these dudes.
Yeah, heavyweight, this is the type of match you'll see a lot.
Probably. Actually, I know for a fact, I was talking to Brandon. Brandon does not weigh 225 pounds. He weighed 211 pounds with all of his clothes on.
Yeah, but he's a big frame guy. He can fight up at that weight. He should be able to, strength-wise, be fine up at 225.
Fighting up and pretty
looking for the
confident about it.
Sumagaish possibly. My man Jared has those types of grips where he could possibly hit a sacrifice throw.
Yeah, Jared's in a slightly more favorable position with the two grips, right?
Might Sumagaish him off the stage if they don't move the middle. Oh, look out. There's a guard.
Whoa!
Did not work out.
It's like he heard me and decided to go ahead and correct that.
He's going to work over into the knee cut, little reverse X guard or reverse De La Hiva. Here's the big pass. Brandon is very heavy passing. Let's see if. There we go. See it.
And you can see him changing direction. Yeah. Gets him on his side, goes all the way to
big
the other.
Big pass.
Beautiful pass. That pass started to the right, came all the way over to the left. Now he's in a great position in side control.
Yep. Definitely a heavy passer.
He's a tall guy, too.
Absolutely. Now, going to just kind of buy his time here and then start working for a choke, I'm assuming. Look out. Stay away from those legs.
Already putting heavy pressure.
Jared needs to start scrambling now. There he goes. And
Brandon's taking it to the mount.
There's another knee cut.
Little greedy on the mount attempt.
Yeah.
Little greedy.
Got to fix the gi. We got it. Well, it's not off yet. I thought it was over the. Oh, there we go.
It's 2019.
Yeah.
Show some skin.
You can go
That's
half
good.
Nogi, half.
Half Nogi. 80cc style was rocked
Yeah.
at the tournament
There
earlier.
we
If you
go.
don't know what that is, it's a shirtless grappler. Slip and slide grappling.
Still doing his knee slide, but he's caught in a little bit of a reverse.
Jared's got some good grips now too. It looks like from the bottom at
Yeah.
least. He looks pretty squared away in front of Brandon's hips.
Absolutely. Brandon is really heavy on top. You got to get underneath him. Out here at this range, he's so tall. But Jared is not a small guy, so we'll see how this plays out.
Like most sports, in football, when you square up to tackle, basketball, when you're squaring up for defense, it's a game of hips, and they're trying to get theirs in a superior position right now.
Absolutely, yeah. Here we go. This is going to be one of those tough matches.
Spins him around.
Yeah, it looks like Jared might be trying to go underneath him. There we go. And then Brandon's going to use it to pass.
Brandon's passing is impressive. Now he's looking to try and take the back with it.
Yeah.
Not something Jared wants to deal with.
There we go.
And he's going to just put that right leg over again and maybe actually have his mount this time.
I think he'll clear his leg. There'll be a scramble here soon. Probably should have stayed over there and worked clearing his foot. Now he's caught back up in this open guard. There's another pass.
Just a nice war of attrition for Brandon Cox, who's he's just slightly making his grips, charging, pulling back, charging.
He's been competing a lot the past few years, so he's definitely learned that competition gear, not to stop, keep the pressure on. He's doing that right now.
From Jared Gibbs' perspective, it gets tiring to try and fight that pass when it's relentless.
When you get out of position in your half guard and get knee slid like that, it's definitely demoralizing. It gets real heavy really quick.
That knee's usually right in the sternum, too. Makes it a little harder to breathe on the way
Absolutely. So, we're about 3:35 in.
A little bit more. I started the timer
more.
late on this one. Right now, probably about a minute and a half left, and
Right
Brandon's taking some pretty good control here.
Yeah, definitely he's in the lead in this pretty good distance ahead.
You can see him trying to put that knee over the arm, trying to pin it down.
Jared could definitely change his fate if he could get back to guard and put up a submission attempt. But
that arm and that hip makes me nervous for Jared. He's got to get that arm under control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do not leave that thing in there.
Yeah, there's Brandon. He's back in guard now. See if he can make something of it. Here comes that
Brandon's
knee cut again.
Got great
Boom.
grips right now. Oh, is he going to
Look
attack
out.
some knee bar? He's going for the arm. He's definitely got it. He's definitely got a good position to get this pried away. Now it's Brandon's legs versus Jared's arms. And you can see Jared moving, trying to get some leverage to make it more
Jared's
than just.
a tough guy. He's keeping it going.
He's
and
out.
Got on top. Nice. Well, Brandon, though, did what he needed to do in getting that submission attempt.
Right as we're coming down in our last 30 seconds, I see Team Money reaching for the official timer throw warning. We throw a cloth at the fighters to let them know the fight's over. We used to throw a 4-pound weight, but you can imagine there were some problems. It's a lot lighter.
There it is.
Time.
Good toss by Trav. And I think it's safe to say Brandon knee slid his way to victory.
Safe to say. Slid right into home with that one. Brandon,
Good looking out.
tall and
definitely.
strong pressure. That was impressive. With the grips he got to keep passing. I like that active pass to go from left to right, left to right.
Definitely keeping that pressure on, wearing the cardio out. But, I will say Jared didn't give up on himself. He's a game competitor, kept going. Good match.
Jared came ready to fight. Jared Gibbs of Glory as we go to a decision versus Brandon Cox of Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu, a 225-pound, more of a catch weight. All three judges score it.
B. Cox, nice.
I'd be doing pretty well fantasy-wise, Andor.
You should have. I wish they would have put a line at the bookies over with the matches tonight, so you could have put a little juice on it.
Declared to my sister, I was like, "Is sports betting illegal in Missouri?
Not
Like, why can I
professional
not?
grappling?
Why
but
can I not drop some
gotta
money
find
on
somebody
this?
to take the bet.
Yeah,
It's the
over
only
under
hard
9
thing.
submissions.
Jiu-Jitsu people aren't exactly financial wizards.
That's fair. That's fair. We don't have
extra pocket change.
we don't have the backing. Big win. Brandon Cox of Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu, though formerly he was out in Easton.
Yeah, he trained with me for a few years, and started kicking a lot of ass, and he's continuing that here with my man Wayne over at Blue Springs Jiu-Jitsu. Congratulations, Brandon.
This next fight, Luke Josephine versus Matt Lowe. And Matt Lowe has been reffing all day and some tonight. The guy's tough.
Yeah, that takes more out of you than competing sometimes, refereeing, especially if it's a kids division.
And we were talking about this yesterday, but the best case scenario for a referee is that no one notices you.
Exactly.
So it's a little thankless.
You lip wrestle a lot as a referee, the parents, you know.
Everybody's a black belt world champ when it's their kid or their friend fighting.
Oh, man. No, they don't care if you are, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
They'll get after you.
Here he is, walking out confident. Matt Lowe did the weigh-in, brought his whole family. His daughters watched him crush making weight, and now the family gets to watch him fight here on the brown belt stage. Matt Lowe from Fox Fitness, BJJ. Luke Josephine's going to get a bit of a hometown boost here.
A lot of KCBJJ people in the audience today, definitely.
Another KCBJJ fighter in the gray, and I really appreciate the color difference. Nice job, wardrobe.
That's good wardrobe coordination right there. Now we're going to be able to see the match clearly.
You're listening to. Whoa, he takes it down.
Party started.
I didn't have time to. I'm Kevin. This is Ethan. We're fighting.
Boom. Knee slide pass and.
The Ultimate Absolute rolling into another 190-pound brown belt gi match.
I've known Luke for quite a while. He's a super tough guy. This is my first time seeing Matt, but definitely was a trooper today, working all day.
We are getting towards the main card. As Matt fights off Luke here. Luke getting good grips in and just attacking.
Guard pull.
Tried to get that foot on the hip. He's trying to elevate him there, right, as he pulls guard?
In that one, he actually put his foot on the same side where he had sleeve control, so he was really just looking to sit without having his leg swatted away, so he could have just an easy transition to closed from the feet.
Start working from that closed guard. Matt in the black, and it looks like Luke's going to re-grip here.
This is a low pass versus closed guard, classic battle, 1998 style.
Matt was on the card last year. Dynamite note from Octavio Nueva in production.
Thank you.
Lovely penmanship, too, from Octavio. Impressed. A little lull in the action here as we pass the 130 marker. This is also the moment where you usually breathe for the first time if you haven't competed in a while.
Man. Hopefully you're breathing by this point.
Hopefully.
These guys look like pretty cool cats, though.
They do look pretty comfortable.
Got a little lasso guard going, and Luke knows how to defend it. Here he goes around the side, but he's still stuck. He needs to make a grip with his right hand. You can't really pass lasso if your hand's suspended unless you can roll it around the back of the lasso player's leg. And that looks like what he's trying to do. It's just harder to do if you don't secure a grip first.
And you can see Matt in the black has that inside gray lapel of Luke, and then his leg is folded over. That's that position he's referring to. It's tough to get your arm out of there, especially with people with those smaller, tight legs.
Even if you pass, you're kind of passing into a bicep slicer. If you can see him, he's trying to pull up.
That's what he's trying to apply right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Now we go back, and it looks like Luke's going to pass.
That's the danger of fighting for those submissions. Travis Conley almost takes a knee to the face, which...
He's had a couple of them happen in the past, that's for sure.
He gets the Joe Wilk Award, though, of getting hit while not fighting.
Brain cells, you know.
No, that was probably taken care of during the
pro wrestling days.
The pro wrestling days.
Maybe the wrestling days, who knows, but long time ago.
Luke trying to work to the back. Matt has got a crafty, tight game here. He keeps using those legs extremely well.
He showed up to represent himself while he's not quitting, and Luke's putting this pressure on him. It's a classic style matchup.
Luke looks like a pretty strong guy, too.
He is. He's an avid weightlifter.
Actually, Luke is also an emergency room PA. He's a physician's assistant. So I'd imagine his grip is excellent, and so is his knowledge of how to twist bones.
Exactly, and those people you have to lift aren't getting any smaller out there.
No,
If you're a nurse or a doctor.
that's true.
We're only going to hire power lifters in the future, I think.
Well, John Hansen coming up on the card.
geez.
We've got one.
Alex Huddleston and John Hansen, the orderlies.
Matt Lowe slowly breaks it out here. Luke showed up at weigh-ins in pretty sleek-looking black scrubs. Changes it up to some
Here we
gray.
go with that takedown again. Let's see if they can stay on the platform. Great job, no takedown.
Yeah, you can see Luke was tending for the knee and the lapel grip, and Matt's kind of keeping him at bay by just using the both lapels.
Absolutely. It's definitely hard to get a takedown if the guy has your lapels or has a lapel grip.
190
Collar grip, I should say.
190-pound gi match, though. Once again, Luke came in a little light, right up there at that 187, 186.
This is 190, rounded up.
Yeah, it was 190.
You know what I mean?
I like the KCBJJ people are like, I'm not cutting weight. It's like, under no circumstances.
Yeah. In this type of match, though, it benefits you to cut weight because you weigh in yesterday, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yep,
guess
yesterday,
what?
6.
I've seen people do 26 pounds in the day before weigh-in, so you can definitely get an advantage cutting weight in this type of format.
Especially if you're a little bit more seasoned at it, either some wrestling or some MMA background,
absolutely.
because I cut weight and I have a near diabetic emergency.
Yeah.
24. I get angry.
I was always successful at it. I felt like it was the first match, of the, getting that out of the way. Then you feel good to fight mentally, but it's always hell, whether you do it in a sauna or a hot tub or however guys are doing it these days. It's never fun.
Luke's still trying to pass, really struggling with the grip fighting game. Matt's got some crafty grip fighting.
There we go. Now it looks like he's almost. That's not really considered a pass though, because
Look at
if
that
you
leg.
notice,
What's
now,
going on there?
It's called a bicep slicer. If he pulls down, he can actually rupture the bicep tendon on the top man's arm.
Ah.
But it's like at this point, I'm not so sure that he has the. There we go, and he's out.
That's the Ray Lewis injury, a little deer antler spray. You're good to go in a week.
He had
Deer antler spray and
a trip to Germany.
a few,
before the
hefty,
deer antler
hefty
spray.
steroid cocktail.
Yeah.
We are
There it
time.
Good match.
6 minutes goes fast when you're grip fighting with Matt Lowe. Between Luke Josephine and Matt Lowe, I'm going to say there might be a KCBJJ wind in the air, but I think I'm going to give it to Matt for the bicep crusher.
Yeah, I think Luke. I would say that it wasn't close enough. I know no submission is what we're really looking for, but yeah, I don't know about that one. It could go either way.
Referee's decision scores it 3-0. Luke Josephine.
And you saw Luke with the passing and just the craftiness.
A lot of top
takedown.
pressure.
Right.
Kept it moving.
Exactly.
And this is a crowd that's going to definitely. We are losing Ethan to go coach as he's going to go give a fighter a pep talk real quick. Next match, Justin Fayback versus Zach Busia. We have a no-gi brown belt. Zach Busia, part of the Lawrence Fight Club. Justin Fayback out of KCBJJ at 180 pounds, no-gi. I am Kevin Phillips from Verbal Tap MMA Comedy Podcast. I have kept the bitter Chiefs comments to an absolute minimum. And I have been excited to see our referees and judges not pulling any Patriot-like favoritism to the fighters tonight, keeping it professional, momentum moving forward. Bitter Chiefs fan comment over. Back to the ultimate absolute. Two game competitors, both on point, on weight. KCBJJ versus Lawrence Fight Club. Smells like teen spirit in the arena. 6 minutes. Slamming is on as we are now in a no-gi. And immediately, it looks like Justin is in the black shorts. Zach in the red. You can really quickly see Justin pulling up to try and get that heel hook. He has got it. That is a really fast heel hook submission from Justin Fayback. What he's doing there is securing the knee and then putting torque on the heel. It will snap your knee if you're not careful. Luckily, these guys know what they're doing. You see Zach tap very quickly as it is a dangerous position, and Justin is a master at that. Very good at the leg lock game. Coaches shake hands after, and thankfully Zach is walking normally. Those submissions can be a little scary. Next up, early contender for one of the Fight of the Night nominees. We have Devin the Pirate Chaston, local KCBJJ, I would say a local lore in terms of the up-and-coming athletes, but he's one of the top up-and-comers out here in the Midwest area. Extremely talented grappler. Got into an awesome match with Josh Neer last year, but he has a tough opponent. He has Chad Vogt, who's coming to the stage in a blue gi. Chad is a member of the Cavallo BJJ Association under Ezra Lennon. Ezra is fighting on the main card tonight. Ezra is one dangerous man in the Midwest and national grappling scene, and any student of his wearing a brown belt needs to be worried about. I got the chance to talk to Chad yesterday. 9 years in jiu-jitsu. Looking good in that blue gi. He has his work cut out for him in an extremely tough opponent. You can hear the crowd starting to go crazy for the Pirate. This time fighting in the gi. There's starting to be a little extra gear buzz as we enter the fourth quarter of what has been an action-packed event. Pirate takes the stage. I've been giving the Pirate a little bit of grief too, here and there. I think he's being ordered off the stage now.
What?
So I think he has to take off his rash guard. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, you have to no rash guard, and then that's Devin Pirate. This is a great matchup. So Pirate's a super intense guy. Had a great match with Josh Neer last year. I don't think either one of them would call it a great match, but it was fun for the crowd.
Yeah, Josh doing a little tradesmanship, trying to get out of that heel hook game with Devin last year.
Oh man, you don't want to trade knuckles with a dentist, but Devin's definitely the Pirate for a reason. He's a bad dude. So here he comes. Well, he's still, no, there's no undershirt, so that's what it was.
There we go. Took the rash guard off.
David Vava.
That's for the crowd. Now he's taking the stage.
This will be an intense matchup. I mean, Ezra doesn't play around. Pirate doesn't play.
We are coming down to our last 8 fights, and this is going to kick off a real series of momentum as we move forward.
There we go.
Crowd
There's
hushes quickly as Chad pulls.
Into the half guard. Back roll.
Chad coming in from St. Louis early. Up
very
knee bar.
Nice. It was like a Shaolin sweep from this angle. Definitely back rolled him from the half guard. Now he's in this knee bar attempt type of position or pass.
He's got that honey hole or side saddle, whatever you want to refer to it.
That's a reverse half guard.
Thank you. No one is breathing right now, by the way. Everyone's ready for this match.
This is actually where Devin is really good, but you don't want to give a guy from that's trained by
Ezra.
the Lennon brothers any type of advantage.
Oh, it is the brothers. That's right. There's multiple Lennons. All 3 of them are black belts.
I've trained with all of them, and they're all fantastic people and amazing black belts.
Pirate moved back under here, and now he's just in the regular half guard, so he moved over.
Pirate's a battle-tested half guard player. He definitely competes all the time and tries to get this position set up, so we'll see if he can get it working.
You do see some advanced guys that really like to work from this position. They just feel more comfortable here.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot tonight, this quarter guard, half guard, shield type game.
Has the added benefit of keeping you a little bit more mobile than the closed guard. You can shoot in and out a little bit more.
I don't know that. I think some of the guys are using it like that. I think a lot of the guys are using it because it's the last step before their guard gets passed. The top person's making. Like in this case, obviously, making a very good attempt at a sweep and pass. The Pirate's where he wants to be. Let's just see if he can win the grip fighting.
Pirate moving still with that frame, though. You can see he's got that top left arm and really keeping Chad at bay with it.
Yeah, but that left arm Chad's got is a problem. See how he's now making that pass?
Yeah.
That smash pass right there with his right shoulder in his head. You can't let someone control your collar if you're the bottom half guard player for that reason. See that left hand?
Yes, I do.
That,
on his lapel there.
Chad's got right there.
Keeping him broke down.
Absolutely. He's got the right hand on the bottom pant leg. There's the
cartwheels over, though.
But Devin's he's a game competitor. He's used to it. Now he's in his butterfly.
This is where he starts to look.
Devin needs to be a little aggressive here. There it is.
Oh, spots him over, but Chad not willing. Chad does concede. Moves to his side now.
Now we're talking. Devin, yeah, here we go. Now we're talking.
Starts to move the
Look
submission
out,
attack while he's at it.
Very good exchange. Now Devin's got the choke. Oh, yeah, he's got it. He's got it. That's the sub of the night.
Oh, man.
That was slick. That was some beautiful jiu-jitsu right there.
Moves around looking for that extra money for submission in the night. Beautiful loop choke. Turns around, smiles to the camera while he does it.
Batata loop choke.
I'm circling the Pirate with a loop
match
choke.
of the night right there. Because, you know, that's versus a very good opponent. That
Pace
was tough.
is intense. Mutual respect from two tough competitors. Chad fights with some tough pedigree. Get caught in a loop choke like that. Not an easy thing to do to him. That's how good the Pirate is.
Pirate did awesome.
That's
I'm
how
really
good he is.
proud of him.
He's still pissed off they made him take off that rash guard.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done that. It was
Pirates, man, he
Set a fire.
trains so hard. Like, I never am shocked when he does something big like that.
Ezra and Chad sort of doing a little post-match chat over here.
Yeah, nothing to be ashamed of or go back to the drawing board on. You just got caught in a fast scramble, basically.
By a tough guy. Yeah, Chad had a good position there.
Absolutely. Really heavy passing. But Devin's been playing in that position for over 10 years, so, you know, he's used to it.
That fight was as advertised.
Absolutely.
That one was exciting.
That's like a KO punch in grappling, you know what I mean? When you roll into a loop choke like that.
The
or
last time I
guillotine or
saw a
anything
loop choke like that in
amazing.
competition, it's been a while.
I didn't see the angle. I think it was a loop choke. I got to watch the film again, but it was really fast. And
It's almost like deadlifting him. That's great.
here comes my man Charlie Hershey, and he's going up against another hell of a nice guy and good jiu-jitsu competitor, Jake Fox. So this is one I'm really looking forward to.
Charlie Hirsch, Lawrence, BJJ.
He's a tough black belt. Just won some kind of professional grappling match, I think, last weekend or 2
Yeah, he
weeks
fought
ago.
on a pro
Down in
card.
Arkansas,
He
was
won
it?
it. Yeah, he got a match win. And
I know Jake is kind of a fitness guru type of guy, like a kettlebell guy and super fit. So
I hope Bill Self has been put on alert. You are now the second most popular coach in Lawrence.
That's absolutely right. So let's see how this plays out.
Forced Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu patch on the back of Jake Fox.
You get automatic consideration for coming out to Cream by the Wu-Tang, in my opinion.
That's a good choice. The music has been on point for the walkouts.
Charlie's my boy, but
we have our first black belt match of the evening. If you are wearing a black belt and fighting on the card tonight, it's because you've been doing this for an extremely long and
one of my original.
tough
Oh,
time.
look out! Big Derek Ruffin, one of my original training partners, and just won the Austin Open last week as a referee.
Yeah, the nice part about grappling referees, usually a group you don't want to argue with.
Especially
Son.
Big D, ex
Especially Big
Kansas
D.
City, Missouri police officer, about 255 pounds,
Cool.
or whatever he weighs. There we go. Charlie's got a nice close guard, so let's see how this plays out. Looks like Jake got where he wanted to get to.
I got to roll with Charlie a few years ago. That guy's tough.
Yeah, he's got nasty footlock, nasty guillotine, tough jiu-jitsu game. So
Trains all the time.
see what happens. Needs to definitely make go under the leg here and go for it.
So there's a pretty good advantage of the standing
Here we
up,
go.
though.
Now, this
Put Charlie in a
foot, yeah.
position.
Let's see what Jake had. Jake is looking pretty calm here. Now, Charlie's got a good footlock in this position. Jake's going to have to watch out. He's surprisingly strong on the ankle.
And this is where Charlie's trying to stand up on that leg to take away the footlock.
Yeah, if there is indeed something. I can't see what Jake's got. It looks like he had a nice grip, but they're scrambling. Guillotine. Charlie's got a nasty guillotine.
Charlie staying calm,
Look out,
moving
nice
up.
judo attempt.
That was a nice trip.
Absolutely. Jake's
Gets-
got that good posture right there, looking for a nice foot sweep or judo throw.
Jake in the blue, Charlie in the black.
Let's see what happens. Charlie's comes from a family of, his mother, in other words, had a restaurant in Lawrence for years, Greek restaurant. Amazing food, amazing cooks, multi-talented individual.
Goes to pull guard. I like the trying stuff. Both fighters have tried a little bit
Look
here.
Get that up, look out. Jake is very calm and uses his experience well. Just sitting back on the foot, working his pass.
Jake Pox, Fitness BJJ, took the match a little bit late notice, filling in, but that's the nice thing about in-shape jiu-jitsu black belts.
That's right.
Doesn't take much.
Jake prides himself on his fitness stuff. If you follow what he's doing out there, he definitely stays fit and is ready to go.
And it is nothing but a murderer's row of black belts left on this fight card. You're watching the Ultimate Absolute, presented by Blue Corner here at Harrah's Casino. Not too late to tell a friend to get a live stream. I am Kevin with Verbal Tap MMA Comedy Podcast. With me, Eden Day.
Once again,
Wrote the book on jiu-jitsu.
yeah, right. I'm just a student and get to teach a little bit, thankfully, and do things like this. But writing books and mastering jiu-jitsu is just not something that's in the books for me. I'm a lifelong student. You know what I mean? Stuff is super evolving, ever evolving, I should say.
Well, and yeah, and you and I were chatting yesterday. You're on a Nogi binge right now. Which
Yeah,
is
no,
awesome.
I just enjoy it, and I'm not even doing a lot of wrestling. I'm just enjoying doing a lot of the technical Nogi stuff out there, the footlocks and the Kimura traps, some of the stuff we've seen tonight.
Jake's starting to build some real pressure here.
Yeah, this is not where you want to as a half guard player, this is your worst nightmare for someone to flatten your shoulders out like that and work. This basically, Jake is going to try to lock his hands and then get his right knee out and start to smash past a mount. This is classic Jiu-Jitsu 101 by Jake right here.
And you're referring to Charlie's shoulders. Whenever he gets flat back on the ground, he does not want to be there.
Yeah, because you don't have any hip leverage. You can't no longer lift the hips and get onto his left or right side to go to deep half or go into an underhook. So now it's like he can't really show his jiu-jitsu. You see, like Charlie's stuck there until he can make a move to his right hip or into the deep half. And that's that left arm of Jake's right there that's putting the pressure on his there he goes. Now he's moving over the top. He's going to go possibly.
And at home, you're watching through the Big
arm.
D window currently right now.
There we go, back to closed.
Thank you. Big D moves slightly to the right.
Look out, high guard. Let's see how this plays out.
Oh, see, look at Charlie still.
There we
Just as
go.
I was starting to think he was maybe a little tired. We've got a slam.
Nice.
We have
First
our
slam of the
first
day.
slam of the night.
Here we go. I give it a low velocity grade, but still a good
I was
effort.
just going to say maybe a 4 from the German judge.
You wouldn't even register that in LA on the Richter scale.
He gets maybe a little inflated scale because it was the first one.
Yeah.
They're talking about it now.
Love it.
Jake's enjoying his slam.
Absolutely. Let's see. Jake's definitely, at this point, Charlie needs to do something. Just that heavy passing, probably going to sway in the mind of the judges. Uh-oh, look out. He needs a.
We are rounding into the last minute and a half of this fight. And
Look out! Here comes the footlock.
Jake does that. There's that little. That's a Travis
Charlie's
Conley
going
move.
to
He
the
loves
back.
to do that.
Yeah, look out!
Looks right for the
Foot attack.
foot. I like Jake's position a little bit more than I like Charlie's right now.
Yeah, they're. Jake is definitely, being smooth as a technician. Got the control right now in this position. And the
Time. Yeah, it's looking like Jake from just sheer force. I mean, the slam, I think, gets him the victory.
Charlie did really well. He's he's had a year under his belt at black belt competing, and definitely a lot to.
And we have a 2-1 choice for Charlie. Charlie looking slightly confused at the victory.
I kind of agree with Charlie. I think Jake did enough to take it. So
yeah, I thought Jake took the match. Charlie is conceding because
Charlie needs
that's
to
a
not be
character
so
guy.
humble. He's a good guy, but he got out and fought, and it's just what it is.
That was a good fight. That was a fun
one. It was
one.
a good match. I definitely kind of agree that that Jake had some better positions there.
Entangled in some good positions. We're seeing fighters are putting it out. They know, especially as we get towards these 6 minutes, how to allocate them. Black belts are maybe a little bit more well-versed at how to actually time allocate for their specific match.
Yeah.
You saw those guys really elevate towards that 2 to 5 minute range, both breathing deep as they get off the mats.
That was a tough match for both guys. Good match.
Nick Sanders.
Nick Sanders is a great competitor.
He's coming up. I was watching his Lovato match. If the first person he ever fought at black belt, Rafael Lovato Jr.
That's a nightmare.
That's tough.
First match or last match or in the middle.
Doesn't matter, but that is a
Whenever
welcome.
you fight Lovato, it's a nightmare.
Rafael Lovato was decorated American grappler, now a pretty accomplished Bellator fighter, working his way to the championship. But for that to be your first, it's probably been a black belt for about 12 years now.
Well, how about this? When in 1998 I went to Carlos Machado's academy, or 99, and Lovato was about 14 or 15 wearing a green belt, kicking everybody's ass as with his wrestling shoes on, like size 13 or bigger. He's been something special ever since the first day he decided to grace us on the mats.
But I'm excited for this one. Nick Sanders, who is just about as nice as they come for people that are just grappling stranglers.
He's a veteran and
fighting Garrett Andrews out of Arkansas.
Garrett Andrews out of Arkansas.
Massive judo guy.
He's a master Renato Tavares black belt, I believe.
Yeah, out of Nemesis
Jiu-Jitsu.
We got a 215-pound match. Both fighters made weight right at that 215 marker.
Nick Sanders out of the Hit Squad.
And that's mostly, I believe he's also an instructor there. He just led the teaching
absolutely.
as well, because I saw he's coaching
That used to be Matt Hughes' school, I believe, back in the day. I can't remember what that was called, but look out.
Somebody just came running out shirtless.
Fighting right into reffing.
Fighting right into reffing. I did. Jake Fox.
Oh, no, there was a mistake, so it looks like they're reversing the decision possibly.
Oh, awesome. There we go. We are back up. This is Ultimate Absolute History. We're calling the decision twice. We're going to count the votes in Florida. Hanging chat aside, we are giving Charlie the victory.
What? Why did they do that again? I don't understand.
Well, they thought, did Jake hate the decision the first time? Yup, let's do it again.
Yeah,
round him back
let's
up.
Rub it in, pour salt on it, and then,
Let's get the Pirate and Chad back up for a repeat of that choke. Let's have them demonstrate it if we're.
Yeah, let's have to do an Ultimate Absolute Technique of the Week with Pirate.
Thank you to all of you watching with us at home. We appreciate you. I'm getting some nice messages from my family who's texting along the way.
Oh, great, man.
Always good to have them joining along. Thank you to the Verbal Tap crowd. Got a few messages on that side. We appreciate you joining. Octavio is the person to blame if you have any problems with the event tonight. Felt like the stream was off, or even the commentary, still Octavio's fault. Same with the decisions.
You can send it to info@ultimateabsolute.org.
All of the things you felt like Octavio did incorrectly. It's super helpful.
And if that's not a real web address, don't blame me for it. That's just the information.
You entered it wrong if it's wrong. There's Charlie again giving us the side eye as he came through.
Don't worry about that, Charlie.
That's a good match.
I know. I'm gonna eat. I want to. Definitely eat some of your Greek food.
Oh,
I used to
that
go
was
to
a shout out.
Charlie's
mom.
Charlie's mom did a shout out. She'd come all the way from Greece, but she is a world-class chef.
And he was with Taylor Keller. Taylor injured? Where's Taylor?
No,
at
Taylor
tonight?
won the tournament today.
Oh, okay. So he's
He won $500 or however much it was. I can't remember.
in the gi.
I believe it was gi. It was a 4-man tournament. Taylor's a multiple-time world champion.
KCBJJ guy out here.
Yeah.
New father and just a beast.
Absolutely.
Nick Sanders just gave me the wink. That's how calm and collected this guy is. Not going to be rattled pre-competition. As Ethan mentioned, he's been doing this a long time.
No, Nick Sanders is fun to watch. It's going to be a good match.
The crowd is drinking. Harris Casino, nice B grade on the gambling machines. I'm upset that they have reduced the amount of Game of Thrones slot machines, but I'll get over it.
We play the Buffalo still.
That one is huge. I saw the Buffalo.
I'm in the old school. I've won so much in Vegas on it that I stick with it when I'm here on the riverboats.
I got smacked around the blackjack table by
That's
a
what
guy
you're
named
saying.
Phil. Didn't appreciate that, Phil.
Yeah, I think we're up so much that my mom is now not working. My dad's pretty
grandma-
slick with the cards.
Fun fact, Ethan's grandmother has not left the casino. She's been here since last year. She's still on a heater
She
at the $5
she
craps
owns,
table.
owns one of the suites here.
They comped her.
They comped her a suite.
Room 288. Nick Sanders is going to be in the white gi. You can see him in your picture as he takes the stage. Fingers taped. If you're curious why they do that, it just helps keep their fingers from getting jammed. Keeps the joints a little bit more.
It can benefit
adhered.
endurance, I think, possibly in your grips.
And Garrett Andrews also rocking the white gi. We have bearded gentleman versus bearded gentleman, and I will give Garrett has a patch I've never seen. I believe it says
that's
blank
Nim-
ISIS.
Oh, nice.
Am I wrong? Is leg patch?
Well,
see
I'll
if we
agree
get-
with that sentiment. I definitely don't like those guys either.
Let's see if we can get a look on it. I hope I've completely missed it, and it's just like an armbar defense.
Yeah, armbar soap. It's not fuck ISIS. It's armbar soap. No, I don't know what it says.
I'm pretty sure that's what it says. Fighting for those grips. This is a match that's going to move quickly. These guys do not mess around when it comes to the grips. It's extremely important, especially for fast-acting black belts.
Whoa, nice, almost
Look at that.
foot sweep.
See Garrett breaking away. Now,
I
Garrett.
heard that my man from Arkansas has good judo.
Yes.
Were you saying that?
Yes, I was talking to Nick about it. I was like, what do you know about him? He's like, he's like a judo world champ. And
yeah, I
of
know
course,
Master Hanato's talked about him being a tough guy before. This is the first time I get to see him compete.
in true Nick fashion, he's like, I'm going to just come out and throw him.
Nick has
Nice.
a very good guard, very heavy legs.
You can tell he pulls guard after a few of those exchanges. They don't look close, but Garrett definitely rattled Nick a little bit with those first few foot sweeps. Now he gets into a nicer, safe position. Best not to spend too much time on the feet with the judo champ.
No, you might not be on your feet very long.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not.
That's how you start flying. We'll get our second slam of the night. Garrett drove in last night. I got a chance to talk to him. Does a good amount of MMA as well.
Oh, nice. I mean, with a school called Nemesis,
Yeah.
you're not out there trying to slap hands and roll.
Oh, you come in with a patch that says
Yeah, Nemesis.
F word ISIS. You're
You're ready.
definitely making. You came
Judo
ready
sweeping.
to fight.
There, yeah, it does say that. Nice.
Yeah,
Style
we
points for.
we
my
have an
man.
official confirmation. This is shout out to Denver Optometry. City Eyes of the City is where I go.
That's right. Garrett.
Oh, nice sweep from Nick.
Yeah,
Garrett
'cause a bad
spins right
man.
around. Things are about to get very interesting in the transitions with these two. Nick gets a nice knee to the face
Yep,
there
that
for
was
his
a
trouble.
good,
There it is. That's the knee.
illegal, but kind of legal move.
Yeah.
We don't traditionally and generally teach knees from the bottom side control in jiu-jitsu. It's not the most efficient
It's a pro move.
move.
It's a little side
A
secret.
little pro wrestling.
It's a lot harder to keep that pressure up if you're slightly concussed.
True. It could be a very good start to an escape for Garrett.
And you can see Garrett's This is not a great place for someone with a strong judo background. Now he's
It
obviously
would
a
be
black
called
belt
Ippon
jiu-jitsu.
by
so-
now, though, because of the pin. You only get 30 seconds
That's-
on the mat in judo.
This is the beauty of calling a fight with Ethan. He can give you a few rule sets, a few genres,
right. I'm
keep
just-
you posted.
Shoot
That's a
from the
Ethan
hip.
good
But
call. I like
definitely,
that.
I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't take an expert to know you don't want Nick Sanders on top of you in the infamous north-south position.
No, you can see Nick gets a check from the coach over here in the corner.
Coach, multi-time world champion, Leonardo Pisagna.
Pisagna, who flying triangled 4 people
No
on the way
flying
in.
arm bar.
No, now Nick's breaking that gi. He's going to try and toss that around to maybe his left hand there. Is that what he's trying to do with that lapel?
I can't quite
looks like
see
he
it.
gave it up. No, he's
Right now, he's established control, and he could work a kimono, like pull the gi out and start working on a choke, or try to work something else. But there's not a lot right there because he doesn't have the arms.
good gamesmanship here in this.
Trying to come in front.
Keeps him a little tired, keeps his weight. Garrett has to keep every movement Garrett makes right now is with all 195 of Nick Sanders.
Is that all Nick is?
Oh no, I think we're actually a little higher than
Oh,
that.
those guys are 215.
All 215.
195 is like
That's Carlos and Ezra numbers.
That's right, yeah. These guys are way bigger.
Nick working those grips, trying to get that leg. It looks like he's trying to move a knee
On
in.
belly, yeah. Looks like from this angle he's
Yeah.
trying to go to the knee on
So
belly.
now Nick's doing the next version of jiu-jitsu knees, and he's
There it
gonna
is,
he's gonna
and
take it
he's
right to
gonna
the
get style points.
mount position.
Boom. Let's
This
see how he
one's
works.
called the mount for pretty obvious reasons, but it's a great place to start attacking people. Dave Durnell used to say if he gets you in the mount, you're only leaving in a stretcher.
Well, Dave used to throw elbows from the mount, so there was a little truth to that.
Both fighters taking a nice deep breath here, especially Garrett. It's tougher than it looks when you're,
I don't know
especially
that
in
he's
this
breathing that well, actually.
one. Especially as
Looks
Nick.
pretty huge.
Nick's wrapping. It looks like that left arm all the way around. This is something you can't see at home because the heads are on
Maybe
the
he-
other side of the
I
mat.
can't quite see it, but he looks like he's going for a head and arm choke. I just can't see how close he is from this angle. But I do see that Garrett is holding on for dear life with his grips.
Head and arm choke, my personal favorite choke. It's just, I love it. It's something. It's so honest.
I can't see. It doesn't look. Maybe he doesn't
I
have.
think you're right though. That does appear to be what he's sort
No,
of
I think
shooting
he's trying
for.
to actually push the elbow up on the opposite side, potentially to arm bar, but I just can't see that far.
But it is a safe bet when you start seeing Garrett's legs clip like that and he starts trying to push up. That's because he's in a bad position and he needs some space.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Nick has exceptional pressure.
He's one of the best
95% of
black belts.
people.
Definitely one of the best black belts in the Midwest. It's very good.
95% of people, Garrett's hip bump like that, it's going to work on.
Looks like it's over.
What
now.
is the tap on that? Was that
I couldn't
is
see.
that a wrist lock?
I
What was
couldn't
it?
quite see.
Tab, you see a finish on that? Everybody got a. I'm giving the notes, hoping somebody's going to yell it out at us. Both tying their belts, but either way, Nick Sanders with the submission victory. I think we're going to go try and hunt down some results on him. Just what the hell happened there? Good finish from him. Garrett's a tough guy, but Nick on top of you that long, you can see the redness in Garrett's face. That's from exertion. The pressure really starts to frequently, announced. Frequently, we describe jiu-jitsu, especially when you're getting beat up, it feels a lot like drowning, and it's for that reason. You start to feel like the pressure starts to build in on you. It's hard to get out. Fantastic start to our rounding third on the main card here. I'm particularly excited about this next fight. Andy Weefald coming to the stage to fight Joe Bodler from Axios Academy. And I have a story and an apology for Joe. Joe from Axios, who is a seasoned fighter, I mistook him for the photographer yesterday. And Joe, who's
Joe
roughly
Wittels.
102, still out here fighting people like crazy. People are going to get to see. But Andy Weefald, who comes from the only university town worth attending, in my personal opinion, out there in Manhattan,
That's
Kansas.
right, K-State.
K-State. I might be a K-Stater in the room.
I like K-State as well. I'm not a KU guy.
Andy Weefald makes his way out to the stage.
Andy Weefald's my boy. He's an old school Daniel Montana student, black belt.
Yeah, Daniel Montana's the name. I hadn't heard that well.
Coming back to competition after a long time, so I'm excited for him. And he's fighting they call him up in Omaha the baddest man on the planet. So we'll see how it goes. Joe, is it?
Joe Bodler, Axios.
Joe Bodler.
And Joe is one of my favorite stories from last year because he's out there fighting in the round robin against young killers. Old school MMA. This guy's done it all. He's got a really well-rounded game and is definitely going to attack me for being the person that thought he was the photographer. He took it in stride. I'm still embarrassed /
Joe,
scared.
the photographer's name's Joe. Is a friend of mine and Travis's, and travels around the world taking great pictures. This guy travels around the world kicking people's asses.
Taking necks.
Yep, taking people's spirits.
They start nice and off to a grip fight, both in the all black. Andy's got the red on, Joe with the blue. Jiu-Jitsu's for everyone. We say it a lot, but what you're seeing right now is Joe's made of granite.
You know, the popularity of Master Senior Worlds these days, people it's the biggest tournament in the world. Old guys love to wrestle and do jiu-jitsu, so these two guys are definitely an inspiration to me.
And Andy's another one of those guys just been at it forever.
Andy's been training with me. I trained with him, started training with him over 20 years ago, around 20 plus years ago. So, and I respect him a lot. He's a college professor at K-State. Doesn't have to be out here doing this with all these lunatics. And he got in shape and he's here, so much respect.
It's one of the first, in terms of like the Circle of Kansas black belts that I remember. There was you, Bircher, some others, and then I saw the Weefald.
Yeah, I was there when he got his black belt. He's one of my brothers, and definitely. Or if I was not there for black belt, I was there for his first stripe. I'm trying to remember, but super excited. He just got taken down there, but I expected this. Joe's an animal.
Yeah, Joe's got some serious pressure game.
So. Andy needs desperately to underhook and get on his side, watch his neck. And
he's got that knee in, and he's pushing. It looks like he's pushing Joe's hip away with that right side of that right arm.
Yeah, he's trying to work a butterfly half here.
Ultimate absolute. We are coming up. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4 fights left, including our and main event. You've got Alex Huddleston. You have Ezra Lennon fighting some Kansas Giants.
Yeah, and I'm just this whole card's been great. I've had a great time. It's going fast. People are really showing their skills, and we couldn't be happier to have the last 4 fights be as good as they are.
It is going fast. It's going fast for Andy and Joe right now, though maybe the slowest in the building for those two. They're taking deep breaths.
Right, yeah, and this is the kind of pace you're going to see, when you're watching guys, the upper master echelon go. Here's Andy, good guard work. He's definitely prepared.
Flirting with that stage. You can see John Hansen there with the huge beard off stage doing some coaching. He's going to be fighting here in a few.
Absolutely he is. He's going to be going against my man Alex Huddleston.
That fight.
Super excited to see. It's a rematch from last year.
You're not going to believe how big these two human beings are, by the way. We'll talk about it when they get back on the stage.
Yeah.
Alex is huge.
They're
tall
both
guy.
huge. They're both smooth, though. They
Alex
both
like
roll.
6'5".
It's like they roll like the most technical guys in the room.
That's why I like watching Alex fight. He pulls guard. So does John. They're both guard pullers.
Both of them I would trust with any student in my gym. Just they're so smooth.
And you can see Joe still doing the top work. I think that's going to favor him, especially as we enter the decision area minutes. Jiu-Jitsu frequently judged by this pressure game. We talk a lot about it being human chess. Well, imagine if a chess match ended before you were able to take someone's queen or get that submission. You just stop with who's kind of carrying the momentum, and that's what our judges are working on with
absolutely.
this.
Let's see how this
Look
goes.
at that. Joe
Come on,
just
Andy,
gets that
let's
leg up, pulls it right up.
That's a, yep.
Elevates
Good
like
pass.
he's been doing some good downward dog work at the yoga studio.
Well, he's a regular over there with the mat and the brick and the, what is that other thing you stretch with?
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I haven't stretched in 2 years.
Can't remember. I don't stretch anymore either. It's too late for me.
I think
But definitely
I like
Joe-
biscuits and gravy growing up too
Yeah.
much to get
Dude,
positively into yoga.
my
and
grandmother is legendary for biscuits and gravy, both grandmas, so I'm definitely falling in that category as well. Let's see, Andy's.
What's Joe working here? It looks like he's trying to.
It's a form of a head and arm choke. It's a near side head and arm choke. Andy's really tough to tap.
Looks
he got his
pretty calm.
He got his shoulder back. It's definitely hard to get out of such a seasoned fighter, tough guys, side control. So see if Andy can work an underhook and create some momentum to escape.
You're at the Ultimate Absolute. We're watching black belts fight. Blue corner, Harris Casino. Thank you for joining us. We have nothing but great fights left. Hey, Joe just grabbed the shorts? I don't think you're allowed to do that.
No, I couldn't see.
Joe's like, shut up. I'll be over there next, commentator.
Yep, Andy's doing a good job of not letting him get total control, but he definitely needs to get that arm off of his head. That cross face is hurting him.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to get out from under Joe. It's one of those people I prefer to just not end up there in the beginning, but
that's right.
That's always easier said than done.
Easier said than done, yeah. The guy competes all the time.
And he's out there at Axios rolling against giant monsters, it would appear.
Yep, absolutely.
Omaha people are well fed.
Yes, they are.
And well wrestled.
They're legendary for their stakes shows and their competitors, right?
Right. So, I was watching John Hansen just eat an entire slab of beef to warm up earlier.
That's on the pay-per-view.
Tune in for our after hours coverage.
After hours.
I'll be over losing money at the blackjack table.
Watch Isaiah Wright leg lock 100 people in a row.
Time.
Nice.
Andy Weefald is a tough person to get a good drop on. This is the part when you're high level black belts like these guys, it's really difficult to get a submission on you.
I have nothing but respect for these
the
two guys.
The decision goes to the photographer.
Yeah.
Goes to Joe from Axios.
Now you are going to get in a fight.
Already. He came up and put his arm just on my shoulder.
Watch that overhand right.
It's okay. It was like, I'm terrified right now. Joe's made of pure granite. That's another big win for him. He had a great showing last year at the round robin absolutes.
Yeah, man.
That's tough.
Well, Andy Weefald's one of my best friends. I'm glad he's healthy, and he has excellent jiu-jitsu, and definitely I know what he came through and went through to get to here tonight, and I'm proud of him.
That was fun to watch. I honestly was excited. If you're in the grappling community here in Kansas City, you know the name Andy Weefald. He's been on the radar for a long time. He's taught a lot of
He's a teacher, and
a lot of tough people out here.
He's a great trainer.
I was excited to see him fight. That was a fun one for me, and I always like watching Joe fight. After I watched Joe just fight hours of black belt matches last year.
He's just an athletic guy at his age, and it's definitely tough to deal with. So I was happy for him, happy for Andy. So.
I'm going to get out there to Axios. The
Absolutely.
things I keep hearing are nothing but fantastic
monsters.
about the gym, about the instructions.
Absolutely.
Props out there to you Axios listeners. I assume there's a few of you in the Omaha area tuning into the broadcast. This next fight, I got a chance to interview Michael Graber from Kriqui here in Kansas City. Michael he brought a whole school of kids.
Absolutely. Mike, I've known Mike for 20 years too.
He's part of the OG club,
over
right?
15 years, and he's just a great guy. Love the guy.
His passion for it. Michael gives a little recognition over here to Ethan.
Yeah, he's my boy. He's my boy, and I know David's a tough guy, and I'm excited for this match. We'll see how it goes.
Dave Lopez from Mac Club Jiu-Jitsu, but just hearing Michael talk for a minute about what grappling means and the coaching and what he had going on, it was inspiring. It's a fun guy to hear talk.
He has been at it for over 2 decades. He loves it. Doesn't have to do it. Has a big family, and he does it purely out of passion. So I'm super happy for him that he's out here tonight.
David Lopez versus Michael Graber, 170 pounds. David Lopez in the blue, Michael in the white.
He's coming out to a little Nina Simone that shows a little soul. See if he can translate it into some slick moves on
Loved
the mat.
that documentary on Netflix. Mrs. Mo.
Yeah.
Some recognition pre-fight. A lot of these fighters know each other. These two, no exception. I like Dave gets low nice and early. I like that. That tends to be how I come out of the
guys
game.
going. Look, 2 teammates. Look out.
Couple of
He's going to try a knee through pass there, but his knee needs to get to the middle a little bit more. His left knee. It's a little.
I like that nice and high guard, too. Makes it easy to get that shoulder bite from Dave Lopez. When we say high guard, we just mean his legs are way closer to the shoulders than they are the hips this time. I like that high guard position. Just makes it a little easier to break down your opponent, especially when they're tall and lanky like Mikell.
Absolutely. Can isolate the arms as well, for an omoplata or for an arm bar. But here's Mike putting the left knee through, scooting back. He's going to get the legs open unless he gets swept. Look out. Look out. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. He's going to get swept him out right
This
here.
is pure effort from Dave Lopez.
Yep. And
if you're wondering
he
how
got out. Mike got his butterfly hooked up, so good for him.
Nice.
Let's see if he can use these hooks.
I'm impressed. David did that, inching that hand up.
Absolutely.
Just
He
one
felt that he had it.
finger at a time, moved himself up.
Went for it.
That's still a better position. You like being on top.
Here we go. Mike's
And Mike
trying to
sweeps
sweep
again.
up. Good job, Mike, but not quite. We go back and forth, the two Mata guys. Now, this is not looking. This won't be good unless Mike can. There he goes. He did it. Good for him. Good sweep, and definitely David Lopez showed up to fight. So did Graber.
These two off to a fiery start with the exchanges. What you can see is some sweeps and some dominant positions being transitioned each. We're in the first 2 minutes of this fight. I can see Isaiah in my peripheral getting ready.
Show enough over there getting crazy.
All of a sudden, it's like, who's moving around like, oh, okay. See, David Lopez keeps getting this sweep here, but every time it's like watching two people from the same school.
That's exactly what we're looking at. Look at them. This might be the fight of the night if they keep it up.
They keep moving like this.
Oh, Humata in the house. Putting on a show.
Mikell with that
Megaton,
butterfly hook.
by the way, the legendary Megaton Diaz, very nice guy, amazing jiu-jitsu teacher and fighter, legendary fighter. He's in Mike Graber's corner.
Yeah, and Mike Graber actually was saying Megaton gave him the, hey, you need to compete more. And that's a fun conversation when you get it from Megaton
talk about
Diaz.
a competitor. Megaton pretty much, I don't know if it's still going on, but he had done at one point every adult worlds since its inception. Even into his 40s. So.
Oh, David Lopez with some tenacity pays off. He winds up in a good side control position.
And here's where you want to definitely, if you're Mike Graber, start working your way out. You want to get stuck in this short time. I guess it's, still plenty of time to go.
It looks like David Lopez has a grip on the pants back there that's kind of keeping his hips
that hip,
a little
absolutely.
more secured.
That's an excellent grip right there.
And on the
he's
top
got the
half,
knee on the neck.
He's got the lapel on the left hand. Oh, good job by Mikell not letting him pass that to the other side. But
this is an interesting position. And he gets to mount.
Uses it to mount.
Looks like Mike might have got a little tired.
And Dave, you can see, still has the problem with that lapel is he's going to work that left arm to the other side and start a cross choke, and that
absolutely
is in deep. This is
look out. This
not
might
a good
be over.
position.
This might be over because of the tenacity of the top man. Look out. Mike's not going to. Mike's a tough son of a gun.
Mike Graber with the pass there.
He went out a little bit.
David.
Nope, not quite. Not quite. Still awake. Mike's is a badass. He's not going to be happy with himself, but that was a good competitive match.
Gets that lapel and uses it to do a modified lapel cross choke. We were just studying that at Jubera Academy. It hurts. It comes on pretty quickly, and the difficulty is once you get that lapel around and you get the other hand in, really tough to fight off. Beautiful victory from David Lopez. Mat Club Jiu-Jitsu, a couple of Gracie guys doing some work. Good match. A lot of emotion after when teammates fight. They're excited for one another. We have Cody Criqui versus Isaiah right next in a no-gi match for the ages. That one's going to be on the list for submissions. David Lopez with a beautiful cross choke. You are watching the Ultimate Absolute. The rumors are true. We will have one more submission before the main event. But we have at least 1 to 2 fights before we get there. Isaiah Wright, Easton, Castle Rock, cheerleader, and one of the just most friendly gentlemen in this sport. Came all the way from Colorado for this fight. And he is fighting Cody Criqui BJJ out there in Topeka. This is a 180-pound no-gi match. Ethan has stepped away to coach Isaiah. We did some interviews yesterday. One of the things I was trying to get Isaiah to do was give me an idea of where he was going to go choke-wise, and he refused to reveal some secrets, which I enjoyed. He said, "You'll have to watch." Making us work for it. A nice cheer from the Criqui BJJ crowd. I got to watch a few of his fighters today at the Ultimate Absolute in the tournament. Whatever Cody Criqui's doing out there, it's working. He has skilled fighters that know how to transition, but he has his work cut out for him with Isaiah. Isaiah Wright's a pretty known competitor now. He does quite a few tournaments at a very high level. Slap hands, and we are off. 3 fights left to go, and this is going to be a good one. That's a good trip right off the bat. And then he sits guard. This is why it's tough to fight Isaiah. It gets very disorienting. It's hard to tell if he's coming at you or he's trying to sweep you in any given moment. Got the chance to ask Ethan how he coaches someone this high level, and he said sort of sparingly, you kind of pick your moments and try and help them out with perspective because they're just so talented at this level and after they've been grappling this long. But it looks like Isaiah's trying to get under those hips and isolate that heel. If he can keep his knee line, which we've talked about, it's getting your knees over theirs, you can put some pressure on those legs and really cause some pain and some damage. Goal always to tap before, and it is strongly recommended that you are a more experienced grappler. Leg locks are definitely not something you should be doing on the trampoline. Right to the edge of the mats, good place to stop. Isaiah not even at the point where he'll be breathing hard yet. 6 minutes won't be able to tax him. He's a tournament fighter. Used to multiple rounds. Immediately pulls back. Cody, that looked like a grimace as he tried to fight, and when he sits back like that, he's attacking his legs. You see that grip Isaiah has over that left foot of Cody Criqui. And now it's like Cody doing a little bit of countering to try and get an escape out there. He's trying to free that knee. He does not want Isaiah to have a lock on that. I love watching Cody Criqui fight. Look at him invert, get around. Isaiah's pretty comfortable here, but Isaiah's trying to essentially take the weight off that left foot. Twists it around. Calmly and smoothly escapes. That's why it's tough to fight Isaiah Wright. You just see those legs keep popping. We talked about this yesterday, but our man is extremely flexible. Once again, thanks to the cheerleading. This is a particular pleasure grabbing the headphones and joining me on the mic. Producer, stage builder, and particular fighter extraordinaire, Travis T-Money Conley. Travis, how's it going?
It's going great. These matches are awesome.
High octane. I still can't get over that pirate choke. Love
yeah. Submission of the night. Sam's submission was great too.
Sam's was. We had a bow and arrow earlier. I took some note from Brooke. There's been some good ones.
These guys are going at it too. I love this match right here.
I love watching Isaiah fight. And Cody Criqui does that same sort of, he's just always on you. He's always stuck to your leg or your hip.
Cody's a beast. He's a gamer. Isaiah loves those leg locks.
Yeah. Turn the knee. Oh, he got it. Yeah. fast on it. That would be, it looks like a knee bar is
Specialty.
what he got the finish on there.
Tied it up.
Cody up a little slow, but doesn't appear to be limping too bad. Cody, experienced at this, knows how to tap.
Yeah, he's smart.
Tough. This is a tough match for Cody, but this is an exciting fight. A lot of movement, and at the 3:15 marker, Isaiah gets finished. Isaiah's a top-level guy, though.
Super top level. Really fun to watch him.
Travis,
He's been-
you built this stage with your bare hands. It has now supported close to 6,000 pounds of grappling.
Yes.
Could
Not all together, but yeah.
No, set it out over the night. Could you please tell the people how you tested it?
I just, back from my professional wrestling days, I just took a couple bumps on it. Laid down on it hard and tested it out.
Backflips were involved, I heard?
No backflips, just some,
Okay.
front bumps, back bumps. Just testing it out. See if it'd take a 200-pound slam, 190-pound slam. Now, it's got to hold these ultra heavyweights here.
This next
so
fight is going to be the test.
That'll be the test.
John Hansen and his, so when he comes to the stage, I was talking about his transformation over the year. He's a power lifter, though, right? He does a lot of lifting.
Yeah, I think he's gotten really into lifting, and I think he always kind of has. I don't know. He's into jiu-jitsu, I know that.
He's looking pretty stout as he comes into the room here.
He's a beast.
These will be the two largest human beings fighting tonight. They also might be just two of the most pure, powerfully athletic along the way. What's the most difficult part of some of these matchups, Travis? Because you did all this, you coordinated all these matchups.
Hold on.
Oh, we're giving out awards. See, this is why when you sit down with the show producer, here comes T-Money. Headed up, he gets called to the stage to do some give-outs. We are going to take just a quick... Did you already shut me off? No, you didn't. I'm still on. Keeping it professional. We're going to take a quick intermission. You're watching The Ultimate Absolute, presented by Blue Corner here at Harrah's. I'm Kevin. We will be back with our two main events in just a few minutes.
Super fascinating what they're doing up here. It's really cool. Drinks on him tonight. All right, we've got our co-main event. The fighter fights for Easton Castle Rock. He's out of the red corner. Alex Huddleston.
We are back at the Ultimate Absolute. I'm going to give Travis Conley a little bit more credit. He has brought some diversity from the matches last year. The Ultimate Absolute 2018. We had Renato Tavares in the main event, and unlike the Super Bowl, we like to vary up the competitors in the big game. We have Alex Huddleston from Easton Castle Rock taking on John Hansen from Axios. This is, I'm not going to say there's any substance extras going on, but if there were, these are the two fighters we'd have to take a look at. Fortunately, I know both of them, and they're pretty clean fighters. Some other way to explain the size of the two men coming to the stage. Alex Huddleston makes his way in the black gi. Ethan Day in his corner. The Ultimate Absolute at blue corner lit here in Harrah's Casino. People are starting to stand. And there is Alex as he takes the stage. You can see the angle doesn't quite do his height justice. We're talking 6'4". A lot of MMA background. A beard that has Spartan-like tenacity. John Hansen's music is playing. Coming out with his coach Joe, who fought just a few fights ago. If I end up missing, by the way, someone needs to question Joe from Axios. I deserve it, but I still am just saying. Now, John is also in the black gi, and when you have two bald bearded gentlemen in the black gi, we're just going to do our best, but John is going to be stage left. Alex is going to be stage right for you here for you theater people, unless I did that wrong. Yeah. MMA and theater. Nice crossover community, and we start. I have no idea how this fight's going to go, but I'm pretty excited to see it unfold. A hush comes over the ballroom. Both fighters will pull guard despite being ginormous. Pulling guard meaning they'll sit back and wrap their legs around the other one to end this takedown game. Neither of them seem interested in doing it so far. There goes John Hansen on the first pull. Excuse me, Alex on the first pull. I'm already struggling with my bearded gentleman. Jason Bircher of KCBJJ joins in. Jason, fortunately, also a bald bearded gentleman, so might be able to help me tell who's fighting who right now.
So we have a code. Usually we wear flags to indicate who is the differing individual.
Would be helpful.
You can't wear that with a gi, though. So
the pushback from Alex there.
we're going to go with beard length as an indicator of who is who.
That's black belt knowledge right there coming at you from Jason Bircher. You can always find him at KCBJJ, and you should if you're in the Kansas City area, want to train, thinking about training, hit KCBJJ.
Come on by. This is actually a really interesting matchup. Both guys have a tremendous amount of experience, and I've been able to watch these guys compete over the years and put their games together. Really curious to see what happens there.
Huge guys with small guys games are nightmare stuff.
They're frightening. I'm a small guy with a small guy's game, so I don't have the the span of attributes.
Little but fierce, as I
Yeah,
have never described you, by the way. Not out loud.
Small man syndrome. It's a clinical issue. Hansen really committed to kind of owning underneath on his seated guard here.
I'm a little surprised. Kind of expected to see him pull up from there.
I've seen him really play into the butterflies a bit, which is kind of funny because I also see Alex use that really well. We'll see how Alex deals with it.
Two huge guys used to fighting people from across the spectrum. I watched Alex fight AJ Agazarm.
Yeah, really fun match to watch, actually.
I was at the Denver Open. AJ, notorious in the grappling world, is either the most annoying or most well-haired, depending on how you're...
Looks of a Ken doll and the attitude of a punk rocker, I guess. Oh, nice lift off the butterfly.
Whoa!
Hansen never lacking in power, but
about 230 pounds getting
got all
leg
kinds
pressed.
of hip weight. That's hard to do without a turn for sure.
Jeez.
Again, right back at it.
Lifts. And my sister's leg pressing like 370 pounds now. We're going to probably
Pretty
bump it up
impressive.
into that 450 range to
Impressive.
get Alex Huddleston's giant ass up that high. That's a big guy.
Tremendous resistance. Man has gravity on his side, being on top.
A lot of tension. John Hansen's still on the bottom from Axios BJJ, but getting some good grips in.
And using his that left butterfly hook to keep Alex at bay.
Gonna reset him in the middle because big guys, not as much time when they fall off.
Need a lot of space and cause tremendous amounts of peripheral damage when they fall in the crowd.
This was the moment I have been worried about for this custom-built stage. If there was going to be a moment that it was going to have a problem, it's when Alex
When
slams
Titans
John
clash.
through it. Yeah. I'm worried about some kids around the stage. There's a lot of fears
Which
right now.
I don't know if it's legal to bring children to a casino this late at night.
Definitely not, but it's Kansas. Well, it's Missouri. Excuse me.
Well,
They don't
Missouri and grappling events, we tend to skirt the law anyway. Looking to stand to pass.
We're at almost 4 minutes here. Neither fighter able to get much momentum going towards a specific attack, but
And again, looking for that sweep off the side.
both fighters know each other too, so there's some respect here. Oh, that's beautiful.
There we go. Great stand up. Smooth.
John Hansen stands up with that leg attached to his shoulder, which even when you're 6'4" is a difficult thing to keep your footing on.
The length of Huddleston's leg is about my height.
Most people are one John Hansen thigh, size-wise.
Right.
He wears regular MMA shorts, but they look like Valley Tudos when he goes no gi.
Right. They're stretched to the limit. You can tell if they've been sewn right away.
Getting every penny out of that Hyperfly gear. Alex working the bottom guard game.
Got a really tricky open guard, being such a big guy, but tremendous hip mobility. I've always been impressed by the way he plays those legs.
I still couldn't believe I watched Alex fight another huge guy in MMA, and you got to watch out for his knees if you're ever in a fist fight with Alex Huddleston.
Come from a mile away.
Oh, off the mat.
Here we go.
We kind of knew.
Into
We knew it.
The lap of a sideline judge. Crisis barely averted.
Jake Fox getting another fitness regimen in. Already fought Charlie, but now he's got to bench press John Hansen back onto the stage.
Working some thrusters off that. Getting his high intensity workout in.
5 minutes, 30 seconds. Jason, you got Carlos in the main event up next.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. This is going to be exciting. Really great matchup. Obviously I'm biased. Carlos tends to carry all the attributes of a great jiu-jitsu competitor. Explosive, athletic, and really cerebral. And again, going against Ezra Lennon, who I respect tremendously, had a ton of experience all across the globe. A monster in his own right.
Coming up on the time, and I think Hansen's doing enough here to get the decision.
Definitely with the back control.
Not in
secured it.
Not really any submission for him, but that's a bad position.
Yeah. By anyone's judging, should be to his favor.
John Hansen, just an up-and-coming beast. I think we're going to see some big things from him in the coming few years in the grappling world.
I think John Hansen's always sat in that pocket of a guy that's an absolute nightmare to those who know him, but sort of been a trade secret in a way. Ever-shifting looks. Last time I saw him, he had much more hair.
He did, and no beard.
Right.
Maybe we
Seems to have gone inverse on the arrangement of the hair, which, I commend him on that. It's a bold decision. I myself have that very look. Much smaller scale, though.
Yeah, and he's on the Gordon Ryan workout plan. The guy's looking stout.
He's always been a sizable dude. It's look good, grapple good, I think is the old turn of phrase.
I've heard that. It's the
Yeah.
same with, well, you're well tatted up. Tattoos make you a better fighter. Same with
really,
beards.
These are fake. I draw them on every day.
that's
But
a
I follow a
commitment.
pattern. I have a full body stencil, and it's henna. It's henna because I just wanted to feel naughty but not really commit, you know? It's a spring break thing.
Takes 4 hours, but it's
It's worth it.
Cancun all year round at the Bircher
All
House.
the time. We do micro braids and beads.
You can hear Alex, and I'm sorry, we're at the 10-minute mark. We're at a 10-minute match for these two main events, and you can see Alex kind of taking that deep breath, and that's because he has 1,000 pounds of John Hansen riding him
Absolute
right now.
aggression riding on that back. But, man, Alex is super cagey, man. He tends to find these holes that belie his size. I've seen him kind of roll out and find the favor in really bad positions. He's going to fight it to the end.
And no one, Alex probably wouldn't admit this. Guy came in a little sick.
Yeah.
I had a chat with him
So
yesterday. I was
heard.
like, how
So
you doing, man? He talked, and I was like, never mind.
Never mind, stay away.
I'll
talk
stay
to
over
me
here. You have a good day.
Via email, please.
Not
no
that-
direct contact.
But he's still here fighting because this
Oh,
is
yeah.
Alex
Game
Huddleston. He
competitor,
doesn't.
man. He's not going to stop. Come down from the mountaintop.
Coming up on our last minute, John's starting to impose his game a little bit, and more so because it's hard to stay on Alex Huddleston's back. So if you can do it for a few minutes,
Really sticky here. Doing a good job of keeping that hip in tight and using that primary hook as left leg to keep himself glued to it. He can transition with the right it around.
oh, he's starting to set up a bow and arrow.
Yes, let's see if he can follow through. There's still a bit of a gap on the grip. Huddleston able to kind of keep some space.
Bow and arrow choke is when you thrust your hips into theirs, you pull on their lapel on their neck and their foot, and it kind of looks like you're becoming a bow and arrow. Bircher's quite good at it, I can attest from personal experience.
I've experienced both sides of that and tend to find that being the arrow in this particular arrangement is the better route
you
to
want
follow.
to
don't
want to
bow.
be the arrow.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
yeah.
The bow is an uncomfortable. We actually saw one earlier. Brooke was the arrow. She showed.
She definitely notched herself well into the bow and arrow choke.
I have her on my top 3 submissions, right up there with Sam B. But the pirate, is that a loop choke? What was that?
Yeah, he did that loop choke and the rollout is like total kamikaze style. And like he said,
That's it,
never
the
done that
kamikaze loop choke, yeah.
But it went all the way through.
That was pretty.
Yeah, it was.
It was just like you drew it up. Did you have like a whiteboard with that on the
well,
back
you
that
know,
said loop choke?
I did, but I didn't talk to him about it. It's just something I do in my spare time. I like to draw matches before they happen and see if they come to fruition. Like a soothsayer of sorts.
So when he drops back over that too, it's a dangerous position because you can break someone's ankles. You're not going to break Alex Huddleston's ankles, but when you pull them backwards like that over their feet,
You'll definitely see people jump to spare the pressure on their ankles, oftentimes foregoing defense in order to save the feet.
this
Definitely
is
fighting tooth and
hard.
nail to the end of it. Alex still hand fighting pretty solid to avoid the submission all the way through. But
John, this has got to be his about 12th or 13th match of the day now.
just like last year, John put it through in the regular divisions earlier in the day.
But I
That's
think
how tough goes.
we're going to have a decision here that goes the way of the Omaha Beast. Does he have a nickname?
Omaha Beast is pretty
Omaha
solid.
Beast is
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
There's got to be a steak
Omaha Mauler?
parallel or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah. The
Omaha Maulers.
Omaha Tenderizer. Not bad, you know.
The
meat
tenderizer has a softness. Like tenderizer could go a little.
Well, I mean, but that's the confusing aspect of it, you know?
I like it.
Really well done.
Good match between, and you can see Alex taking the deep breaths.
Definitely.
Alex is going
Definitely
to go
trying to fill those big lungs all the way through.
drink some bourbon and NyQuil, a little thing I call the midnight train.
It's not a bad recipe, really. It's like Grandma used to make.
I find it keeps the night confusing but tolerable.
Definitely going to make your way through with either a smile or a bit of vomit in your beard.
Jason's swinging by to do a little commentary for
Happy to
us
come
as
through.
Ethan coaches. KCBJJ, I love your school. I love your classes.
And always glad to have you there.
We joke a lot to keep our emotional at bay, but this man,
It's our emotional connection, really.
I'm not going to say take your kids to the classes. You
They're
go
good.
first. You
Yeah,
can,
You go first,
but
test the waters.
I just
like
think
anything.
it's safe if you
Yeah.
know what you're walking
You
into.
should know. You should know.
Henna, tats, and violence-wise. But you got a new location, a bigger location.
Absolutely do. 5860 Beverly in beautiful Mission, Kansas.
KCBJJ.
Come on by.
I always learn some new things and get beat up. Main event coming up. Thank you very much, sir.
It's going to be a crazy one. Watch it.
You got to go coach. He's going to go coach Carlos, whom I am just desperately looking forward to fighting. First, his opponent, Ezra Lennon. Ezra has fought everyone. I'm going to talk about a little bit of what he's done. 2-time ADCC participant, Nogi Pan Am black belt, silver medalist, Nogi Worlds, multiple time Chicago Open champion, 2-time Super League. Man, this guy fought Lovato. This guy fought Keenan. He somehow fought Jeff Glover and Dean Lister. And I don't know how you fight Victory's smallest and largest guys, but Ezra has somehow done it. Has his work cut out for him. Ezra in the white gi also brought his 7-month-old boy to watch his first grappling tournament. Back with me on the broadcast, Travis T. Money Conley.
Voodoo Child.
I know. He's got Voodoo Child Rocket. Well, Carlos coming to the stage. Carlos is in the black gi. Carlos Dallas, this guy frightens me.
This match was supposed to happen last year. Ezra got hurt. So, dude, I'm just super excited about this match.
Compliments to you, because not a lot of people know to book Ezra on these types of things, but the grappling world loves watching him fight.
Oh, yeah. People are going to find out
Ezra
about
knows
both these guys.
nothing about Carlos, by the way. I found that out. Fight starts. Carlos took a thumb to the eye about 2 weeks ago, fixed by Dr. Bircher, Jason Bircher's much better half, much better 2/3. And we have some questions about if Bircher's injuring fighters and then sending them to his optometrist wife, just right there. And it's a nice business model.
Could be. That was an interesting guard pull. It looked like, I don't know if it's a guard pull or the Tomonagi that Carlos does, but it's put him in a bad spot early.
Ezra on top is a dangerous place. He's got a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Pressure and arm bars. I think this is the quietest it's been all night.
People are worried if you talk during Carlos's match, he will find you afterwards.
They're worried about if you talk, either one of them will. Don't be disrespectful.
Ezra moving, look at those legs, just moving right in and out. Carlos does not have an easy guard to get past, so to be inside control here is an accomplishment.
Yeah, he's got some ground to make up early. He's getting that butterfly hook in. Ezra's putting that weight over the top, like pinning over the other side. It's keeping Carlos from being able to shrimp.
That's
So
that's that right hand on the pants.
Yeah, so he's got that super deep, and then his head and shoulders over that Carlos's left side.
Both fighters weighing in at 195, no problem, wearing it well.
It's like people are watching a golf tournament.
It does have a Masters sort of Augusta feel to it right now. It's a small hush.
Which is weird because they've been loud all night. They're just being respectful. Blocked the inside leg. That was nice.
You ever watch these fights in Japan, you'll notice the crowd is silence. It is about respect. No more respect than for Ezra Lennon, Carlos Dallas. Carlos is a longtime teammate of yours. You two have been at this a while.
Yeah, he's one of my best training partners.
Have you fought Ezra before?
Yeah, I actually have. Back in like 2007, I guess. Dating myself.
Pre-black belt days. This is
yeah. I was a blossoming white belt, and I think Ezra was a purple belt, and it was a Nogi, of course, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, that's never stopped you before. Ezra still, the pressure he's able to keep putting on Carlos, you can already see it. You can see him flattening out those shoulders, making him carry that weight. Ezra's inching that leg up. He's trying to get his knee free so he can start to.
Yeah, neither one of them are gonna kind of give an inch. You know, that's a slow and steady game.
We're at our co-main event, the Ultimate Absolute 2019
Main event.
main event. Oh, there he goes. He starts to make the move.
Crowd likes it.
So he moved those legs to the left, and now he's passing to the right. Switches back again.
He's got that space, though, if he could keep shrimping. Oh, heavy.
Ooh, that's a bad position. Does Carlos want his arm in between those legs there?
Yeah, he's trying to push him away just to make any little bit of space.
Travis, an accomplished competitive black belt, will be answering the tough questions analysis-wise because these two far surpassed my jiu-jitsu prowess. Carlos taking that lapel out, trying to get a grip over the shoulder. Something to get some leverage. I like it.
Slow clap going.
This is good. Crowd's ready. Crowd's trying to. There's definitely a Carlos home crowd advantage here. There are more Carlos fans than Ezra's. Ezra's pretty used to that.
He's got the half guard back. Look at that, and he's got the butterfly hook in too, I believe. Yes. Oh, he's blocking it. Ezra's blocking it. Look at that. He's got his toe on the foot.
That guy. He's crafty.
Oh, look at that. Yep.
Ezra's fought some crafty people. Keenan a few times.
Me.
No more difficult guard. No. The white belt Travis in 2007.
Just throw that in there.
Who you would have been pretty though annoying as a white belt with your wrestling background.
I was an idiot. I didn't even know. Like, he kept sitting down, and I thought it was ridiculous. I didn't even know the rules.
I watched Travis get DQ'd his junior year in wrestling because he sat on someone illegally.
It was often illegal. That's why I started doing jiu-jitsu. Unnecessary roughness or
it's encouraged.
Illegal holds, and then jiu-jitsu. Yeah, jiu-jitsu it's encouraged. Man, now he's got that tight shoulder pressure.
Hitting the 4 minutes.
That jiu-jitsu crossface. Oh, there we go.
Keep him moving. Does get tough after 6 minutes to be on bottom of Ezra Lennon.
He's got the butterfly hook in. See, look, Ezra's going to reach and grab.
And you're talking Carlos has that butterfly hook with that left leg that's really keeping him safe. The audience, you've got a really good view at it on the live stream right now.
See, look at that. That's how he's going to elevate.
And Ezra is just keeping that sweep with that right hand is the only thing keeping him from getting swept there, which is a great move from Carlos.
This is good action. This is awesome.
These big fights, any moment can be extremely dangerous. Both fighter knows this. Staying careful. Putting the belt.
Such a subtle pass, you know.
Carlos again, eye cut with the thumb a few weeks ago, fixed by Dr. Bircher.
Doesn't phase him. Doesn't matter.
He honestly did say that. He was like, it wasn't like the cornea. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
That's well, okay.
He called me like right as soon as it happened as like a courtesy, but he's like, I'm good. Just so you know. Don't worry, but my eyes popping out of my head.
And who's fixing it? Bircher? Jason? No, thank God, no.
Carlos has got his some of his guard back here. Let's see what he can do with it.
Carlos
Nice pass.
still keeping those legs in, though. not letting Ezra get back into that side control position.
He's in it now.
That leg popping in. Ezra fights out of St. Louis with Cavallo BJJ. He and his brothers, there's 3 of them. They're all black belts.
Carlos is former Secret Service, protected the president, former college football player, UNI.
Ethan was telling me that I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
I didn't know about the college football part.
He's like a Renaissance man. He can play the guitar too.
Really quiet guy, but a great jiu-jitsu teacher as well. I got to take a class with him, and he was doing some I was partnered up with him. Just really good at explaining stuff.
Man, this is just Ezra Lennon all day.
No, Ezra
Crazy
Lennon
pressure.
putting the pressure on. You can see the deep breath from Carlos there.
I wish they would go for an hour.
It's like, can we call a quick audible? Can we go?
Call it on the fly.
Both fighters conditioned to go a while. Carlos still just keeps getting those hooks back in. Look at this pull. "50 seconds, you're going to see both fighters no longer have to worry about keeping anything in the tank. Not that either of these two, 10 minutes is a small amount of time to fight. Carlos getting the crowd chant, trying to will him into a sweep here. Fantastic. Look, this
There we
is
go.
the hardest I've seen Ezra work in a
I
while.
like the standing pass here.
Look at that red face going. It's just tough because Carlos got those hooks. And
Good
time as Ezra.
That's a wrap.
First of all, that was exactly what I was looking for. I really wanted to see Carlos fight someone on this. It's a good matchup. And as tough as I thought, Carlos not really putting anything dangerous. A few times got taken into side control, but Ezra Lennon is as tough as they come. One of the best grapplers in the Midwest, if not the.
Oh yeah, he's like a wild card, like a, hidden talent almost, but not so hidden. I mean, to me and a lot of people around here, but I guess it's the Midwest kind of thing, like
Yeah.
he's not from the coast, so
Doesn't get as much because it's not San Diego, basically.
Exactly.
But present company included. Travis Conley, you can find him grappling a lot of these super fights. I love watching you out there as well. What a beast. Ezra gets the decision victory. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. And will win the super fight main event here at the Ultimate Absolute presented by Blue Corner. Travis, this was fun.
Thank you everyone for coming out, watching the live stream. Thank you, Kevin, Octavio.
Great night of fights. Beautiful new stage, upgraded. If you thought 2019 was upgrade, join us for 2020. Travis doesn't do anything half-assed. In fact, quite the opposite. I still can't. You should see this stage, by the way. The building of it, I watched them put it together beforehand. Took them no time at all. Well propositioned. This was the Ultimate Absolute here at the Blue Corner. Please join us next time. Thank you to Octavio. Thank you to Travis. Thank you to Ben. Thank you to all of you at home watching and listening. You made our night.
Thank you. That was awesome, man. Thank you, man.
Treat, right? Were you injured too? What? Were you injured too? No, I haven't. Well, I mean, I have some injuries. Been old injuries. No, I haven't anything major lately, I don't think. How's the club going? Good. Good. Yep, it's going good. It's in Columbia, right? Yep. Growing? Yep, going good. Yep. How about you guys? Can't complain. Nice. I don't know how you do it, but I started to do more begin and advanced, separating. I did. I do I call it fundamentals. Fundamentals, okay. Yep. It's been better that way. So much better, right? I used to do all one class, and then new people come in,
If
and
you're lost.
yep,
They quit.
and they intimidated,
Yeah.
and then, oh, I'll never get to that level.
Yeah.